Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Emporia. We're here for the fourth and final round of the 2022 Dynamic Disc Open, presented by Dynamic Disc. Our players have transitioned over from the Jones Supreme course, where they played rounds 1 and 2. Now we're here for rounds 3 and 4 to bring you the final round. Canna, current conditions 70 degrees, humidity at 26%. The wind has picked up slightly to 13 miles per hour, and now it is a northwest wind coming at us. Everyone playing for one of the beautiful glass-blown trophies. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, joined alongside three-time world champion in Nate Doss. And Nate, the wind has been the main story, just absolutely brutal conditions out here for the last couple of days.
Well, yeah, definitely the wind is much better than it was through the first 3 days. It's still Kansas calm out there, which is relatively windy for the rest of the country. But Ricky Wysocki, a multiple-time world champion, has won a world title on this course. Right now, the championship, that trophy, is for the taking for Ricky Wysocki. But if he slips up at all, there's people behind him that there's a lot that this would mean to them if they would go on to win. For Ricky, he's got to play still aggressive, but smart aggressive. Keep it in bounds, make some putts, and I think Ricky can take it. But it's disc golf, and you just never know what's going to happen.
We certainly don't. But what would you say to some of the other competitors out there that are chasing him down? They have the 4-stroke deficit. What would you say if you were in the ear or if you were a caddy for any of those other challengers?
Well, I saw Brody Smith out in the practice field, and he just said he's ready. He feels like he's going to be there to pounce if Ricky slips up at all, but they have to play perfect. They cannot put themselves out of position by making bad mistakes.
Yeah, and almost all of them know that Ricky is going to show up. He's going to play a solid final round. However, we won't have the conditions to contend with, like you were just mentioning a few moments ago. This goes back to just yesterday, the most brutal of the 3 rounds when it comes to conditions. Your reigning world champ pushing out of bounds on the very first hole. Even approach shots like we're seeing there by Kevin Jones pushing off and to the right. This one, great shot by Brody, got picked up and carried out of bounds. It never fought back inbounds, but that looked like a good, safe shot the entire way. And then James Conrad getting no love from that same basket, basket number 5, as he is beside himself. He's going to dunk it in. Jake Hebenheimer out there today. Excited to see what he's going to bring. He said he wants to make a name for himself. Solid approach shot there that we saw yesterday. Nice approach, getting the work done from the mid-range distance, trying to eliminate the putting entirely, and somehow fights through on hole number 12. As I said, not much putting there to the elevated basket, making it easy. And plenty of power. You're seeing him use it everywhere, and then he's going to wow you with the putt. One of the most unique putting forms that we've seen in disc golf. Great to see. Now let's take a look at Ricky Wysocki and who he's up against. Wysocki, well, let's take a look at the stat sheet. 121 career wins, over $500,000, and 15 DGPT wins. When we add up the other 3, okay, not so much. They've got 36 combined career wins. The career cash about 1/10 of what we see from Wysocki. And well, they're looking to change that goose egg where they have 0 DGPT, NT, Elite Series wins among them all. Ricky Wysocki, clearly one of the best in the game, a 2-time world champion, someone who wants to defend the turf in the home of Dynamic Disc.
Yeah, last night at the block party downtown Emporia, Kansas, Ricky Wysocki had, from what I saw, a line of somewhere around 200 people for several hours. Ricky, obviously beloved here in Emporia. When you win a world title in a town, they seem to remember you.
Dynamic Disc Open. 2:34 tee time. Our MPO chase card. Teeing off first from Bedford, Texas. Sponsored by Prodigy. G.T. Hancock. Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, sponsored by Discmania, the 2014 Dynamic Disc Open champion, Simon Lazad. From Urbandale, Iowa, sponsored by Prodigy, Gannon Burr.
I hate you, Brian.
And from Charlotte, North Carolina, sponsored by Innova, the 2016 United States Disc Golf Champion, Jeremy Colling.
Big Germ, fourth to tee off here on our chase card. Ready to move down the fairway, more than 1,000 feet to take on hole number 1. But here he is yesterday, hole 16. And you see, that is the common reaction. And I'm going to tell you, from a cameraman perspective, it is so difficult when you capture a shot like that, especially an ace, to not freak out because you're so elated for that thrower. Nonetheless, Big Germ getting his ace captured by a fan, I believe, out there. Congratulations to him. I'm going to follow that right up. Today, this morning, Chloe Alice also hit hole 16, same tee pad, same pin. Hole 16 hit by Chloe Alice today. So congratulations to both of them.
Incredible stuff, and we have to think that 16 is going to be a factor in the tournament today. Here's that shot from behind.
Go the hole.
Oh, and Chloe Alice with the reaction. Leah Sinigini holding it down, though. That's impressive camera work. Not as much zoom, but nice work.
It's amazing. A hole-in-one is a great feeling, but when it's on an island hole, it's even better. Incredible.
On the right-hand side of the fairway, GT Hancock. Well, it sounds like we've got Brian Earhart out there. He's on the ground. And Brian, talk to us about some of the conditions that we're feeling out here today.
You know, Terry, the conditions have calmed down significantly from the past 3 days that the players had to go through. This is going to be ideal scoring conditions on this course, and the wind direction is consistent from yesterday, so the game plans can be executed that they had for the previous round.
Well, I'm going to follow that up and say, you know, for the first 2 days we had south and southwest winds, and now the last 2 days north and northwest winds. Do you feel like one or the other is consistent with Emporia, or is it just always windy here and you never know where it's coming from? You have any idea?
Terry, I can't say that I've ever played a single round out here where there wasn't at least 10-mile-an-hour winds, gusts up to 15. This is still some of the lightest winds that I've ever seen the players attacking this course with, so it should be a fantastic day. A lot of players from some deep cards can come back and make a run at the top.
As you said, thank you so much, Brian. We're hearing about these great scoring conditions. I think back to 4 or 5 hours ago, Katrina Allen, for instance, she had a deficit going into this morning's round, ripped open 6 birdies to get her round started. So the scoring conditions are out there and plenty more birdies to be had. Here's Gannon Burr with his second.
Gannon just short of the FPO basket circle. See the orange markers in the ground there. Lazad going to try to get down in that same area as well. It's a great spot to attack this basket from. Lazad a little more conservative, but still a good shot. It's a tricky green, really, no matter where you are on this fairway. Big Germ trying to get down to that area as well. There's really just not, you can't really get that much more aggressive as it does get a little bit tighter the further down the fairway you go, and that's what I was worried about, but he stays just in bounds, and boy, nothing more than just a jump putt from there.
And we're going to take a look at the U-Disc course close-up. It's established back in 2015 by Eric McCabe and the rest of the Dynamic Disc crew. Hosted our 2016 Pro World Championships. It'll also be utilized later this year for the 2022 Pro Worlds. The par 65 comes in just a few feet shy of 11,000 feet. Hole 10 this year was redesigned to bring the woods more into play. That's definitely the tightest fairway that you'll see out here on the course. Obviously, we've got the island green on hole number 16. U-Disc, the app for disc golfers. Go out there, find it in your favorite app store. Make sure you download it today. You can also follow along with us on udisclive.com. JT with his third.
Great view from high up above. You can see how that golf green and the road kind of creates a very tight area there.
The crowd that is assembled out here just a short while. We'll see our lead card also teeing off.
You can see the basket there on the top right of your screen. The shortcut grass right in front of the basket is out of bounds. That's a golf tee, traditional golf tee that is marked OB. And then where the basket is, it actually slopes downhill to that road behind it. It's a tricky little upshot, but in an ideal world, you would actually land with a little bit of forward momentum on that golf green out of bounds and just kind of skip forward. If you land at or beyond the pin, that slope can take it out of bounds long. Is somewhere in the range of about 280 feet.
Wouldn't consider that a favorable roll. Still, we'll have a look with the putt. However, if it would have rolled closer to the basket, I think it would have been much more advantageous. Not so much the distance as is the obstacle, but here's Simon Lazad. Lazad over the out of bounds area and looking at a putt.
Yeah, just kind of the perfect shot, just not enough forward momentum. Just creeping barely in bounds. That really was a fantastic second shot from Big Germ. A 147-foot jump putt for the big man.
Thanks to our friends over at Bushnell Disc. Just like all of the other accessories we're seeing being added into the possibilities for players, Bushnell has created a rangefinder that can be measured in feet or in meters. Nate, maybe one of these days we'll get with all the other countries in the world and adapt, but unfortunately I don't think so.
You never know, Terry. You never know.
Well, someone who has certainly adapted to life in America. We've got Simon Lazad, became a father just 8 months ago.
Great putt from Simon. Simon on the chase card after taking a quadruple bogey on 17 yesterday. Kind of shows you that he's been playing really, really well. I mean, he finished in great position last week in Jonesboro and a chance for another top 10 finish here at the Dynamic Disc Open.
And this is exactly what I was worried about. Overhanging branches. Gannon jams it in there. Incredible putt by Gannon Burr. And this guy on the other side of our commercial break, that's your leader, Ricky Wysocki. He's up to tee next.
Whether you know it or not, you have a brand, and we have discs. Let's put them together and make something really cool. We've got plenty of discs and are ready to stamp or Dimax them however you'd like.
Isn't it expensive?
Well, guy who asks convenient questions, at Dynamic Discs you can see what's available and fill out the form to see what it'll cost you before you even order. Sometimes I fill it out just for fun, because you can watch the numbers go. Anyways, head to dynamicdiscs.com/custom to place your custom order and grow your brand, whatever that is.
Fierce and passion, like those are the two things that I am on the course. You hit a tree, scramble, get back in the circle, get a par.
It's a birdie, look, but it's a long one. What a make.
Don't forget about me, I'm here. I'm here and I'm staying for a while.
To me, Airborne is the expression of flight. That's kind of the representation of the brand that we wanted to build. The visual that we wanted to get from this stamp is the connection between man and nature and man's connection to the natural world that people are able to find through disc golf. We wanted to have a disc that all players could trust. It'll be a great tool for a lot of players. It feels great to have Prodigy have enough trust and faith in me to make this disc for me and to make this full line. And I'm so excited to be able to share it with the whole disc golf world.
The Dynamic Disc Open is brought to you by Dynamic Discs. Be dynamic. And welcome back, everyone. The basket of hole number 1 as we'll backtrack down the fairway. You know, the drone has to get back into position for our competitors here.
Hole number 1 yesterday played as the 9th most difficult hole. Today playing as the 3rd easiest hole. Yesterday just 9% of the field taking birdies. Today 41% taking birdies.
Open. The 250 tee time, our MPO lead card. Teeing off first from Scottsdale, Arizona, sponsored by Dynamic Discs, 2-time world champion Ricky Wysocki. From Jefferson City, Missouri, Jake Hebenheimer. From Forest, Virginia, sponsored by Discraft, Brody Smith. And from Valley Center, Kansas, sponsored by Dynamic Discs, Logan Harpol.
And all 4 drives safely inbounds on the tee of 1. We jump over. This is the tee of 2, Simon Lazad.
To a tricky tee shot in any condition. Lazad grabbing that last tree, but inbounds.
And we're going to need a little inspiration, some keys to success out here, Nate. These are brought to us by blackinkdisc.com, the premium disc golf store. What What are you thinking?
Well, keep it in bounds, obviously very crucial. OB on every single hole here at the country club. Number 2, mental toughness. And at this point, we're into day 4 of competition. I think that mental strength is going to be so crucial as you come down the stretch. And today, put yourself in C2 in regulation. If you can do that on 18 of 18 holes, you're going to shoot a good score. And with the way the weather is today, I think that is very much a possibility.
Here's Lazad's second on hole 2. And eventually it falls from the tree in the sky. He's going to be out in circle 2. Almost 50 feet remain for the birdie look.
And I think we heard from Brian earlier about the wind conditions. And, you know, putting yourself in circle 2, there's a lot of opportunity to go for circle 2 putts. I mean, yesterday we saw maybe a dozen putts laid up from inside circle 1. So more opportunity to go for big putts.
No problem with the second shot there. Here's Brody Smith lining up his second.
Yeah, because this is, you're saying this has a chance of getting killed. I like that.
Brody with a slip during his run-up. Still gets off a pretty solid shot that's tracking towards the out of bounds. It's going to check up before that, but we'll have to keep an eye on Brody and hope that everything is all right.
It's a tricky spot to land. There's a large cedar bush that'll be just in front of him that's going to kind of block his visual at the basket and change the angle of attack into the pin. He might be able to go to another sidearm. We'll find out. Here's Ricky.
Great shot by Ricky Wysocki.
If I go that way, I have to go for it.
Precarious place to be. Brian Earhart's out on the course, and Brian, we see off on the right-hand side for Hebenheimer. What's he looking at? And can he get in trouble here if he gets too aggressive?
Yeah, he's kind of pinned behind these juniper bushes. I don't think he's going to have an easy look out to the basket or, you know, aggressive play. I think he just has to put himself on the fairway and maybe settle for par here. Not too much he has from back there.
A couple of pro-level moves that I like here. First of all, he's not marking his disc, so he's trying to give himself that amount of width, and then he's putting one disc down between where his drive landed and where his foot is. That's approximately 9 inches or so. So he's making sure he can pull back as far as legally allowed to do so. And now, as opposed to the standstill, looks like he might be going with a regular run-up here.
Yeah, I think this is a smarter play. Go with, you know, more of a full shot here, something you're a lot more comfortable with. You just have to avoid not turning it enough. I would go with a slightly less stable disc than trying to get more distance.
think this could be big trouble if this isn't on the right angle.
And that's the mistake. I mean, I like the play of going the turnover, but just way too overstable of a disc. He actually hit the juniper bush right in front of him, and he'll be OB a long ways back.
You see the gallery pushing up the left side of the fairway here on hole number 1. A little later when they're on hole number 7, it is essentially the same area, just going the opposite direction. So whatever winds we have on 1 are the exact opposite, 180 degrees on hole number 7. Here's Simon Lazad. This is for birdie. Lazad doesn't convert. On the very corner, bottom corner of the property, located just off to the left-hand side, is actually another 9-hole course that you can find here. One of the many courses in the Emporia area.
It's a tough spot for Logan to be this far back, having to use a little bit of a faster disc. It can be troublesome coming into the green.
That carries deep of the pin. There's big germ for birdie. Off the side of the basket, the top rim, and it looks like it got a roll away from there.
Yeah, I think for Jake on that second shot, I mean, really dialing it back and going with a mid-range, maybe a fairway driver at most, would have been the smart play. And now he's in a tough position too, because he's throwing his 4th shot here after the out-of-bounds penalty, and he runs into the same issue that Logan just dealt with. The speed of the disc coming into the green. Got to be careful not to go too long.
That's a pretty good looking shot there by Jake.
Yes, and great ground play. Coming in on a lot of angle, but staying close.
Now this is germ for the par. It did roll to here. And germ turning that birdie look into a bogey, unfortunately.
So you see Brody's disc over here near the road, and then you see that juniper bush. That's the one. I mean, he is going to have trouble even seeing the basket. He's going to have to step out, take a look at it, judge that distance, and then work the shot from there. He can go turnover. He can go hyzer. Both options are available.
Throw something probably. I think the wind's going to help it get left more.
The safer of the play would be to go hyzer.
I
Can control the distance a little better.
Here, at like the top of the tree. I'm just like almost like a 260 shot. Top of the tree. Yeah. I think this is fine. Kind of almost like a stall shot.
Smith seems to like it. Inside the circle.
I think all in all, a good effort. Ricky in a great position. Use a slower flying disc to control the speed.
Too much mustard on that one for Wysocki. He's looking at an uphill putt from circle's edge. We jump over to hole 3. Simon Lazad on the tee. And it looks like he will remain in bounds, but off the mark for Lazad.
Hole 3, a very difficult par 3 downhill, 466 feet. Ideally, a big sidearm like we're seeing from Germ here is a great option. It's a big gap on the left, and you can feed it all the way back to the pin. Got to watch out for OB right.
And just as you were explaining that OB on the right-hand side, Germ comes up at least 25 feet short of it. A long look at Birdie. Seems like in the early goings, hole 1 is showing off all of its obstacles here today, Nate. Now, let me ask, you're obviously a veteran and you were for many years. We see that in Ricky Wysocki. Any nerves, anything else that might be present here on this very first hole of this final round? The rest of the card?
Let Ricky putt here. I think there's nerves all around. I mean, Ricky definitely wants to take down the tournament. He knows he's playing in a group with less, you know, veteran players in this situation. But for the other players, I mean, there's definitely nerves. All the people around, the cameras watching you. So many opportunities to be in front of the disc golfing world. At the end of the day, you got to get through holes 1 and 2, and then you just let it flow from there.
You'll see the very unique putting style from Jake Hebenheimer.
I mean, this is an unreal putting style, to be honest. All that movement, and he just slams it.
Yeah, just grab my disc. Put it back a little while. Yeah, that's fine. Right there.
I thought, when I was holding off there for a moment, I thought there might have been a rules call of some sorts, and it sounds as if maybe Jake had just accidentally moved or touched Brody's disc. I thought maybe a foot fault was called or something. So Brody Smith also in for the par. Nate, you've been around a while. You don't see this too often, do you?
I've never seen it, Terry Miller. And, you know, a lot of times in putting, we sort of preach this kind of lower body, get it stable. And he's actually having to take that big step and coming actually off the right side of his body and left foot forward. I mean, this could be the start of something new for a lot of people. I would find it difficult to find that same release point every single time. But Jake taking kind of the horseshoe route there.
Yeah. And
right? Just the consistency of horseshoes.
And what it looked like, he Thank you so much, first of all, to Idio Shoes for supporting the Disc Golf Pro Tour and helping with that breakdown. And Brody Smith out of bounds. And what I think actually happened is I think Jake went to retrieve his mini and his towel and accidentally picked up Brody's disc is actually what had happened. So simply the group just confirmed where it was and then they replace it. No harm, no foul. But Ricky, Wysocki. It's off on the right side. Might be trouble for Rick. And I want to give proper credit. Brody Smith had the box because Brody Smith, in fact, birdied hole 1, I believe. And I had said he parred. So Brody with the opening birdie.
If you look right down the center of your screen right there, there's the change in color of the grasses. There's your OB line. Left OB, right is safe. To some degree, I'm surprised we don't see Ricky go to the big sidearm here. Big advantage for the sidearm players to throw towards the out of bounds and working back towards the inbounds. This backhand can be very touchy. But Logan Harpol, what a shot. That is position A here on hole number 2.
We're going to roll that Zuka replay. Take another look at Logan. Feels like a very compact setup and pull through there. Not a whole lot of movement. You know, you compare that to when you see James Conrad preparing for takeoff and the runway that he uses. Just very, very different styles. Simon's second shot buzzing past the basket. And he would go on to make par from there. So not really going to argue with a par on hole 3. That's kind of one of those premium birdies we speak of. Here's Brody Smith discussing it with his caddy. He's out of bounds, so he'll take it from where he was last inbounds.
Yeah, and it's a long way back here for Smith. He's going to go with sort of a power shot. He's going to need a high-speed disc here. He's going to have to try to go on that right side. There's 3 trees at the top of the hill. He's going to try to beat those. Give himself a look from circle 2 maybe. Wow, and he turns it over. Looks to stay short of those trees. It'll be a long chip to the basket from there.
Tee up 4 for Simon Lazad, the 600-foot par 3 downhill to the right. And that's probably better than even Simon thought it was. I think he really thought he pulled it too far right, which it is, but it's not going to be nearly as punishing as he thought. So Brody had struggled here a little bit yesterday. We saw him push way off to this right side. He was actually just barely in bounds, but almost up against the fence that you're seeing in your screen. He was pinched between the trees and the fence. Today he finds OB off the tee. Here's Big Germ, Jeremy Coling. Trying to turn it over on 4.
Great ground play there for Big Germ, able to stay in bounds. He basically hit the OB line.
Pretty effective forehand there by Jake.
Yeah, that's a wonderful shot from Jake. Really a great save from Jake after the errant second shot back on one. Nice putt. And now an opportunity to make birdie.
Ricky says bucket. I'm going to go take a look at that with his hat. Get a wind read possibly. And he's going to switch up the equipment. Again. Brian's out there in the field. Brian, give us a read on what we see from Ricky Wysocki's second shot.
Yeah, he's going to be about 100 to 150 feet away from the basket, tucked in on that right side. I still think he should have a no-brainer up and down unless you got some nasty roll out of my vision.
Finally making it to the shot of Logan. Just a chip sidearm from here. And a nice bit of roll. Great position for Logan to take a birdie here on 2. 28% of the field have birdied hole number 2.
Now we're back with Simon Lazad second on hole 4.
0% have birdied here on number 4. Does look as if the disc of Smith has,
a little bit into headwind, right?
out of our view, gone deeper in the woods than we thought. This is going to be a difficult up and down now for Brody. Could be difficult just to get behind his line.
Looks like the dark horse has mounted and has found his positioning here. A little bit of work.
Actually might need a...
It looks to me like it's going to be tough for him to go with the sidearm just because of the arm swing. He looks committed to it, just a disc change, maybe a little less stability, but a little more flight out of it. Yeah, that's exactly what he's done. Done pretty good too, an uphill par putt.
Big Germ has a long birdie bid here on hole number 4.
It's dangerous too. Downhill, OB long in the basket. Good speed control overall. Pars or birdies over there on hole number 4.
See the blue whiskers there indicating 66 feet. Wysocki outside of that. And now he's inside 25 feet for the par. And soon Jake will also be getting into position, and Brian out on the ground tells me he's got a little insight about Jake and his unique putting style. What do you got for us, Brian?
Yeah, you know, I played a few tournament rounds with Jake and in some previous seasons, and he was really just losing confidence in his stroke, and he was missing a lot of short putts, kind of the putting yips, so to speak. And he said over time something clicked during a practice putting session with the shovel putt, and he said 7 months of nonstop practice was the amount it took him to make that switch full time, and he hasn't looked back since.
Appreciate the insight there, Brian, and I think that just kind of goes to show that anyone that commits to a particular style, you have to stay with it. You can't just give it 1 or 2 putting sessions or a few hundred putts and say, oh, this is working or it's not. You have to really develop it and then stick with it. As we saw Brody Smith not connect. Here's Jake. Quite effective. I mean, you don't make it to a lead card on the 4th day of an Elite Series event without having yourself something clicking when it comes to your putting. That's not an accident or happenstance.
Well, there's no question about it. I mean, to commit as much as he has, he's making big putts. We saw the one on 18 yesterday, and now the 2 putts today so far are looking very effective indeed. Nice save for Ricky. It's going to be a double bogey for Brody Smith after the OB off the tee. He's going to have to try to make it up on hole number 3, beyond.
Simon Lazad moves to the tee of 5.
Good distance from Lazad, but for him now on the sidearm side of the fairway. We'll see if he's up for the task of attacking this basket with a sidearm, or he might try to go backhand low between the trees. Good tee shot there from Germ. I mean, Ricky with the bucket hat today, right? Eric, early recognition is critical. It's important to cover the face and ears from the sun. It's a beautiful day here in Emporia, Kansas.
Yeah, earlier you were talking as we opened the show about Kansas calm, and what that really meant is 10, 15 miles per hour. That almost feels calm when you're in this area. That might be windy to some parts of the country, but that's just kind of the average when you're around here. And many of our disc golfers that are proficient in the wind likely come from some of those most windy conditions that they play in and day out. You think of Oklahoma, for instance. You certainly think of the Kansas winds as well.
I took a 6.
Rick?
4.
Jake?
I have 3.
3. Logan?
Is me or you, Logan?
It is Jake.
Thank you. You're going to have to move just like a little bit, but thank you. You're right, kid, right there. Yeah.
Hearing Jake asking for it to get down, and it does. It remains inbounds.
And I'll say typically here on 3 with the sidearm, it tends to come in with quite a bit of angle. And we don't see a lot of skipping. This looks great from Logan, committed wide. And a little check skip there inbounds, down there pin high. Very good commitment. If you want to birdie this hole, you have to commit at going towards the OB on the left side and bringing it back in.
Bounce, the skip, the hop, the roll, it took it all. Wysocki right next to the pin here. Brody Smith taking the hyzer route. Plenty of power. He's going to be out in circle 2. Pretty good angle. We'll see if that tree comes into play. We're going to roll that back. Take a look at Ricky Wysocki and the patented Sunstein moment here. Wysocki, we've seen him slinging forehands around for more than a decade. And if you have anything that you'd like to protect in terms of intellectual property, possibly a logo or a trademark, looking for some copyright, whatever the case, copyright protection, whatever the case might be, reach out to our friends over at Sunstein Law. They've got your back. In fact, I know Ricky Wysocki specifically works with Sunstein on many of the projects he is currently part of. Big Germ, second shot on hole 5.
This is that backhand side of the fairway and a nice shot from Big Germ. Very good commitment, landing right around the basket. Now here's Simon on the other side of the fairway going with the sidearm. And it's got to sit, and it does. Nice job by Lazad. So, look, those two guys, they just showed you how to play the hole, one on the left, one on the right.
Somehow it seems as if the gallery is growing or adding more and more people to it. They're taking in all the action right here at the Emporia Country Club, and I know we've mentioned it, but excited to come back here in a few months, almost exactly 4 months from now. We'll be back for the 2022 Pro World Championships. Ricky Wysocki picked up his first world title here in Emporia. In fact, crowned on this very course.
It's a very wet part of this fairway. Okay, now how does this putt look from distance?
Pretty impressive, wouldn't you say, Nate?
I would say. That was really nice. Stayed on line for a long time. I'm not going to say I'm going to go out there and change over, but
he's trying to make you a believer.
Well, it's nice to know it's possible.
Brody Smith for birdie from circle 2. And you see how that branch really was the main obstacle between him and the basket as he took to a knee, and Smith will walk away with a par. Online but short, and you can understand being tentative there, right? The OB sidewalk directly behind the basket. Could very easily get up and roll or skip past. As you said, a great effort by Jake there. Meanwhile, Ricky Wysocki cleanup on aisle 3. Easy birdie for Wysocki. Extending his lead.
Ricky picking up the birdie on the 7th most difficult hole today. Only 12% of the field taking birdies there. Started at 4. Still is 4. Ricky threw 3, feeling good. Couple errant shots so far from Ricky, but
there's your leaderboard. We'll be right back in just a few moments after a word from these sponsors.
Hey, whose sandwich is that?
Well, I found it in the fridge and it didn't have any markings or ink
That's
on it.
my sandwich.
Well, why didn't you mark it?
I did, see?
How do we know it's your sandwich if there's no PDJ number on it?
Check the bottom slice of bread. Anyways, don't you have a sandwich of your own?
I did, but I lost it in the water.
What water? Give me my sandwich, you're sleeping on the couch tonight.
But the RV doesn't have a couch. Val. Val.
The orbit fell and this thing has been amazing. The plastic, the flight, everything is just amazing. You can really manipulate the angles on this thing. It's a Felon, but it does things that Felons really aren't supposed to do, and that's why I love it.
Back on the tee with Ricky Wysocki, hole number 4. Can he be the first to birdie?
going to the sidearm here for Ricky, just a position play. I think smart for Ricky. There's really no chance of birdieing this hole. Put it in position, chip it up, just move on. I think when you're the leader by 4 shots, that is what you're supposed to do. Don't put yourself in any sort of undue risk. Yesterday we had 0% of the field even make it inside circle 2. Today we've had 2% of the field make it inside circle 1. 598 feet, this par 3. It is downhill, but a very awkward tee shot. Another position play from Jake, I think smart as well. You're not going to beat Ricky Wysocki by trying to get holes that nobody in the field has gotten.
Last to tee, Brody Smith. Brian, you got a read on that? Was that out of the country club? Is that out of bounds?
Yeah, Terry, he did get the red flag. That, unfortunately, has gone out of bounds.
And maybe just as importantly, talk to us about how far back he's going to need to take it for his lie.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure what he's going to do. He could take it back a decent ways to give himself a decent look, but I mean, either way, regardless of where he takes his stance, he's going to be able to get up and down. He'll be within distance.
All right. Almost as if we have a spy in the sky up there. We are seeing exactly where Brody Smith will be marked there by the volunteer spotter. Thank you so much.
Simon up on 6, a much easier hole today than yesterday, and a nice tee shot from him. 6, one of the shorter holes on today's round. Par 3, but a lot of OB by the basket.
Yeah, we saw that one so difficult to actually get all the way to yesterday. Again, like you mentioned, due to that wind.
I think Brody, a perfect example of, you know, trying to get too aggressive on a very difficult hole to take the 2-1. He's OB. Be a tricky little upshot, but just can't. You can't on holes that nobody's birdied try to make a move on Ricky, who's playing it safe and clearly going to try to just get the par. Jake is a long way back. It's very steep near the green, and there's OB long and right.
And that's a solid approach shot. Big Germ had gone out of bounds here on 6, so this is for his par. And trying to run it in a little too quickly. Germ will take bogey on hole 6. Still Burr. Gannon converts. Good reason to have a caddy along when you're out here, Nate. That person can then go retrieve said out of bounds disc. Like we said, they'll have to come up with a spot to then give Brody.
I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't see it really.
I didn't either.
I didn't see it. I can't tell within 2 feet of where yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Take this back as far as I want. Is that actually the rule? Rick, is it, do you take it back as far as you want once it's coming a meter? Really? You can go back as far as you want? And you can't pick a meter again.
Brody discussing with the rest of the group as to what his options are after going out of bounds. Soon be ready to throw. That's a solid approach shot. Brody will walk away with the bogey 4. Here's Logan with his approach. Nice controlled forehand inside the circle.
Kind of a surprise to actually see him go to the sidearm here. Ricky going to go to the backhand. There's that sidearm, it just, the way it works against the hillside there wouldn't be advantageous, but you know, he's more confident with it. Now live, par putt.
All right, we're going to play through. You're not going to miss a shot.
Looking back at when I was 8 and 10 years old going through the situation I did, I'm very blessed that I had the opportunity and I had the strength to speak up.
I would never want any parent to have to go through what we did.
And I think being active and body aware helped save my life.
You can let fear overcome you, or you can do something about it.
Speak up, speak up, speak up. Say what you need to say.
If disc golf is your game, make Gotta Go, Gotta Throw your disc golf warehouse. With a huge selection of discs, bags, baskets, carts, shirts, and more. GottaGo.GottaThrow.com has all the tools to take your game to the next level. Shop online or our Golden Valley, Minnesota store. Free shipping with all online orders over $75. Online or in-store, get what you need for the game you love. GottaGo.GottaThrow.com, your disc golf warehouse. In the game since 1993.
So much better. Thank you.
What do I love about disc golf? Same thing we all love. Sound of the chains.
I love that you can play on a course or make up your own.
My favorite thing about disc golf is challenging myself every time I step onto a court.
What do I love disc golf? It gives me the chance to connect with an incredible community and throw some pretty amazing discs. Because after all, big is love, big is life.
I love disc golf because you can be as creative as you want with this sport.
And welcome back, everyone. Ricky Wysocki ready to go. He is on the tee of 5.
Five playing the second easiest. Ricky going to play the hole similar to Big Germ Jeremy Coling over there on the right side. That sidewalk you saw there is out of bounds on the right side of this fairway, and then on the left side of the fairway there's a golf fairway that is marked OB. There's a bit of concrete in the middle of the fairway that is not out of bounds.
Got Simon Lazad. He's on the tee of hole 7. If it stays low enough, it'll remain in bounds, and it does. Finds to the lower side of that ditch area, putting on the brakes. Nice drive by Lazat on 7. Now back with Jake on 5.
And Jake will be in bounds, and he'll have to use that left side.
Great call, sir. Thank you.
Jake has what seems to be a pretty nice sidearm, so I would imagine he's going to be having the green light there. Back to Brody.
And they weren't even close, see? Dig.
I believe, like yesterday, Brody was asking for the spectators to get pushed back off the ropes, and that looks like it's going to be out of bounds for Brody Smith. Brian, you're out there. Are you close enough to confirm definitively if that's OB or not?
Yeah, Terry, I'm walking up to it right now. Looks like he is about 1.5 feet out of bounds. Just got a bit too close to that flat spot, and it got a nasty skip.
Appreciate that, Brian. And Brody getting plenty of distance, but he is going to pick up the penalty stroke as we just flew the hole and took a look. Plenty of challenge out here on 5 in terms of the OB. However, it's playing as one of the easier holes on the course.
Yeah, 41% have taken birdies on this hole versus just 11% taking bogeys. That piece of concrete, that concrete cart path you see in the middle of the fairway, not OB, but a hazard in the sense that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Brody Smith either hit it or hit very close to it, and that's what could have propelled him out of bounds. So an unfortunate skip off the concrete for Smith. Back to Simon. That was a tremendous tee shot from Simon Lazad. Simon today playing extremely well. Very well controlled for Lazad. He's 3 under through the first 6. And a chance for birdie from circle 2 on hole number 7.
Oh, so it's like not even this. I think it's a zone. Right? Yeah.
Well-executed recovery shot there by Brody Smith. Thinking back to the windy conditions yesterday, he got a terrible bounce and some crazy ground play that actually pushed him out of bounds after throwing a great forehand shot. Today he goes OB off the drive. Looks like he's going to have a recovery and walk away with the par.
So this is actually a less aggressive play from Ricky than I would have expected. I would have expected the big power backhand from Ricky, but he keeps it low and does a great job at A, staying in bounds, and B, giving it enough juice to get all the way up the hill. Birdie chance for Ricky. And from a similar position earlier, we saw Jerm go with the big backhand. Logan's so far up the fairway that he's got to throw a controlled shot low. Been impressed with Logan Harpol so far today, Terry.
Well, and speaking of Logan, I think at some point here, Brian's going to be able to give us a little insight. Brian got all the information about Jake, and Earhart, you're out there. Can you tell us some background on Logan?
Yeah, contrary to some of these players on the card right now, Logan is not a full-time professional disc golfer. Logan is a special ed teacher in his spare time. He's only been playing disc golf for about 4.5 years, Terry. He's really progressing. He has a baseball background, very athletic already, and seems to be picking up the game pretty solid, it looks like.
I appreciate the research out there, Brian. I know you're able to catch up with so many of our players and find out more about them, and we really appreciate that.
Huge mistake from Jake there. Win OB, he's only going to progress 20 feet and then have basically the same shot.
Jeremy Coling for birdie on hole number 7. A colorful scorecard. I don't know if he's trying to match his shirt or not, but colorful scorecard thus far.
He's going to need a lot bigger numbers to match that shirt. It's got all kinds of shades of blue and orange on it. Nice shot. Recovery shot there from Jake.
You know, and to follow up what we were just hearing from Brian, so impressive to hear someone like Logan, who's only been around the game again for a couple of years. Not just that he's here and on this final card during the 4th round of an Elite Series event and that he worked his way there, but that also tells me he really learned how to navigate around the course in the windy conditions over the last 3 days. And that's a special skill set in its own.
Well, and having that baseball background does help with mental toughness. Baseball players do a great job at composing themselves throughout a 9-inning game, and I think maybe a little bit what he learned on the baseball field he brought with him to the disc golf course.
From Circle's Edge. Very impressive here by Logan. That's going to be his 2nd birdie of the round. A It's going to move him into sole possession of second place, and Wysocki high and tight, but it falls into the basket.
Yeah, and Logan's actually going to create a little bit of distance on his card mate Jake, who's going to take the bogey to move 1-2 back of Logan.
JT Hancock for birdie.
I thought you were saying J, but it's G.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, sorry, thank you. GT Hancock, I apologize.
A nice start for GT Hancock there. 2 birdies in the last 2 holes, but more importantly, no bogeys so far. Lazad, birdie putt.
Our silence and dead air kind of matches that putt, unfortunately.
Terry Calvin Heimberg, the champion from last weekend, has made his way to the top 5. Calvin on today's round, 4 under par, 1 bogey, 5 birdies. See if Calvin can't post a good score here.
We were looking at all those birdie putts a moment ago on hole 7. Some of them made it look easy, as opposed to what we're seeing from Calvin's only struggle out there today.
The 7's a tricky hole. It's a tight out the gap tee shot. If you don't get enough height on it, the OB does come into play quite quickly. Ricky here, tee is 6. Hole number 6 playing as the easiest hole today, 339 feet. OB very tight around the basket.
Well, obviously not as close as Ricky was hoping for, but more importantly, it stayed in bounds. If you're going to throw an errant shot here on 6, just make sure that it's not so bad that you also add a penalty stroke to it. So maybe a missed opportunity, but not giving anything away there.
Well, color me a fan of Logan Harpol. I have not seen Logan miss a shot today, minus maybe the tee shot on 1. Very nice inside the circle for birdie for Logan.
Apparently has stuck in the tree for Brody Smith. Brian, is that in bounds? I know 6'6" and above is not considered out of bounds, but I'm saying where it is relative to the inbounds area, is it out?
You know, Terry, from my perspective, it looks like he got stuck in there and he's not going to be in bounds. That just faded out a bit too early for him.
I like it. Strong disc.
Appreciate the clarification. Jake making the cameraman work, going with the big spike hyzer. It pays off. It's an incredible shot. He's inside the circle looking for a birdie. And that's Logan. Looking good so far. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I would recommend the Envy to every single person that plays disc golf.
This is such a good throwing putter.
If you don't have an Envy in your bag, I don't know what you're doing.
The Envy is one of the most pure, straight flying putters.
Comes out clean, can handle power, it can handle touch. It's just very versatile.
It holds any line that you're really putting it on. It's so good. So good! It's so good.
Hello, we're Kenna. We're a Dutch growing company. We love plants and we want to tell you some cool things about them. Just like humans, plants can communicate. They can sense when another plant is close. Plants look out for each other too. They warn neighbors about nearby threats by secreting substances. And studies have shown that plants love a good tune. We love and understand plants. Let our passion excite you too.
I agree.
Welcome back. We're
Good.
here just off the fairway of 6. Should I say back on the fairway now? Brody with a long attempt at being able to save the par. And the stepper is just off the mark for Smith. He's going to walk away with a bogey. Brody will go to 2 over par for the round. Correction, 3 over par for the round, 2 over overall. Wysocki in relatively quick fashion getting up there to lay up.
So far through the first third of the course, Ricky's basically done exactly what he's needed to do. No bogeys, couple of birdies. Now a chance for both Jake and Logan to chip one away at the leader.
That one just barely slips in for Jake. He'll take it. Logan from short range having no problems with that whatsoever. Pair of birdies, a par, and a bogey, all on hole number 6. Here with Simon Lazad. This is the tee of 8. We got to get this first one in bounds. And this is big distance. It just needs to finish, and it's going to. That is a crush by Simon Lazad. Anywhere that far up the hill is so impressive. We're here for hole 7, which is our VII and Diameter Apparel sponsored hole. Thank you guys so much for your support in our 2022 season. Nate, what are they trying to do on hole 7?
Well, we just saw them coming out the gap from the tee, and really the low potential off the tee is what is the danger there. Then you got your second shot into an elevated basket here on number 7. Today playing as the 8th most difficult hole, pretty even across the board. 33% birdies, 43% pars, and 24% bogeys. You can just see how tight it is through the trees. Logan with that short step up, powers one out there and inbounds.
Frozen rope there for Jake, keeping it nice and low.
Yeah, you want to keep it low, but not too low, because you can catch that part of the fairway there that's OB, and it can keep you out of bounds. There's a smash from Ricky. That's can't get any better than that, Terry. Way past the middle part of the fairway. That is just a chip for Ricky. He'll have just one tree to beat heading into the pin. There's that low shot. Gets left of the out of bounds. So he's safe.
Gonna roll that Zuka replay, take another look at Ricky Wysocki.
Well, and it was the moment that the disc started to flex back that Ricky realized it was a good one. That was the moment right there. Ari approved for Ricky Wysocki.
GT Hancock here on the 8th.
Nice.
This is a tee shot that's leaking off to the left side. And it continues. He will be out of bounds. We saw the drive by Simon Lazad. Looks like we're going to now catch up with him. He's throwing his second.
And even though it was a great tee shot from Simon, this is a par 5. And because of those two big trees, he just got past. Very difficult to go all the way to the basket, but Simon in great position to make an easy birdie on 8.
So although Smith is quite a ways back, actually a really good line to the basket, takes full advantage of it. And Brody Smith inside the circle. Incredible recovery shot.
Yeah, that was really nice control from him from distance. Able to get around that last big tree and really, you know, to put himself in position to get an easy birdie, which is what Brody needs right now. He's had some bogeys in the last 4 or 5 holes, and nice easy birdie. Sure will be exciting for him.
Well, and I'd throw it back to you with regards to Brody or anyone else on this card trying to hunt down their first big win. Would you have any insight as to what they might have to go through mentally to go out and attack and try and take down Ricky Wysocki?
Well, I'd say start not 4 or 5 shots back. But in all seriousness, I think it's just a process. I mean, if you're in this position and, you know, even with the career I have had, I was unable to really chase people down. The thing is the best players, once they get out in the front, they don't look back. That being said, mistakes do happen, and you just kind of have to stay in their wake. And if something happens, then you just shoot past them if you can.
Right now, though, Ricky Wysocki looking pretty good. Not lighting up the course, but you mentioned it a little while ago. He's doing what he needs to do. He's got the 2 birdies so far. Trying to add another one here on 7. But first, looks like we have Jake. Left side of the pin for Jake. This is actually an eagle bid that we're looking at from Simon Lazad. Great to see him out here having a good time, putting together 4 pretty solid rounds of golf so far.
Yeah, and he played well last week too. So back-to-back weeks for Lazad, and there's that, I mean, shot from Ricky, just totally what you would expect inside 15 feet after a great tee shot.
So we saw the eagle bid now. This is for birdie.
There you go, Simon, look at that. 4 birdies, 8 holes. It's more birdies than Simon had yesterday combined. About 30 mile an hour less wind as well.
And I'm seeing a correlation there, Nate. And Logan not messing with the elevated basket. Just going to pitch right next to it. Very disciplined play there.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, great composure.
That's when you would do it.
He would have wanted a better second shot, put himself in a better situation. The two DD team members going to compare discs. If I was Logan, I'd be stealing Ricky's putters right now.
Anything to slow him down. Well, and Ricky, when he gets in winning excitement mode, he sometimes is running around the course giving things away. Next thing you know, he's might be missing a disc out of the cart there. Jake's birdie bid off the mark and not exactly a great reaction off the basket.
Well, it is an elevated basket, and this green does slope from the backside to the front. First real challenge here for Jake so far.
Challenge accepted. He's going to walk away with a par. Brody Smith. Great recovery shot. He's going to pick up his second birdie of the round. Ricky Wysocki picks up his third. Logan will be content with the par. Simon Lazad here on the tee of 9. Trying to push it all the way to the edge of the sidewalk and not go over it. Unfortunately, he does. But don't go anywhere. We've got more live disc golf coming right at you on the Disc Golf Network.
Somebody help, my poor cat is stuck up in this tree.
Hello, ma'am. I heard your cry for help, and I'm here to rescue your cat.
Oh, thank goodness.
Here you are, ma'am. Cat's safe and sound.
Wait a second, this isn't pudding.
Slammer, there you are. Dude, thanks.
So then where's pudding?
Welcome back. We are looking up ahead, or from ahead, I should say. Hole number 8 as we loom over the tee pad.
Yeah, hole 8, the second par 5 here on the front 9 of the country club. 994 feet. Very challenging tee shot. You have OB right, you have OB left. Wind for the players coming off their left. Last night, Terry, I saw Eric McCabe out at the block party, and we were chatting about the courses and some of the changes he's going to make. Eric McCabe is so detailed that he was actually talking to me about what changes we should make to the spectator ropes, where the blue ropes are, where we should move them back, where we should move them closer. That just goes to show you how the mind of a world champion and Eric McCabe thinks about this property as well as the property over at Jones Park. Eric, one of the best guys in disc golf I've ever met. Very fortunate for Ricky there.
Thankful for all of the power that not only had it skip off the ground, jump over the cart path, and then land in bounds. This is one of those tee shots where you're kind of holding your breath because you know that the numbers can get big if you go out of bounds here. And you're likely out of position in doing so. Smith, pretty similar line. It's going to have a similar result. Inbounds, right side. Good, powerful tee shot there by Brody Smith.
Yeah, and the slope of this fairway goes from right to left. You have to commit at that right-hand OB, otherwise the slope can bring OB left into play. Logan just so smooth. Inbounds.
He's on the opposite side of the fairway, on that bottom left side.
It's kind of just job A here off the tee. Get it in bounds, and then the second shot is more of a placement shot than super aggressive. A lot of danger on this fairway, both left and right.
And that is going to be leaking toward the out of bounds on the left side, and it is well out. Here's Simon Lazad. He goes to the drop zone after going out of bounds on the tee of 9. Trying to make a huge recovery shot. I guess the fans say it all there.
Terry, he's putting for par from circle 1 from the drop zone. I give a challenge out there to anybody. Try to get inside circle 1 from that drop zone. It's highly unlikely. Surprised to see the shot from Jake. Seemed as if he was trying to get way too aggressive. And, you know, like I said, with the slope of the fairway, you can't be on that left side off the tee. You have to play wide, carry it back into the fairway if you have any chance of keeping it in bounds. Unable to do that. You can see on the second half of the hole, the lake comes into play. The distance from the sidewalk to the lake, about 60, 65 feet. So tight landing zone. The additional challenge of playing up and over this rise to a downhill landing zone there. Oh, lucky for Logan. Boy. He'll take it. That's all we needed.
I'm going to throw it out to Brian here in a moment about just kind of the general course vibes out there. We've got GT Hancock out here on hole number 9, but I want to ask Brian, you know, we're hearing galleries and crowds and people yelling everywhere. What do you feel like is kind of the sentiment out there? Are people really attached to this lead card? Are they following around Simon? Are people paying attention to what Calvin's doing way down the board? What's the crowd like?
Terry, I think what I'm hearing is a lot of Logan Harpol fans from Kansas. I'm hearing a lot of hooting and hollering for their local boy, and there's a lot to hoot and holler about. He's playing fantastic today. But yeah, very laid back crowd today. Everyone's having a good time. Absolutely beautiful weather out here.
Some of them probably a little bit conflicted. You got Ricky Wysocki, you know, kind of the flagship team member here of Dynamic Disc, but also, as we just heard from Brian, the local getting plenty of love as well.
Brody's got to restrain himself here. A smart shot is all it takes. Got to hit the landing zone on the second shot, put yourself in position, and just get a birdie.
And it looks like he did just that. He at least backed off considerably on the power there, Nate.
I think a great play there from Brody. It has a nice sidearm. He can use that on the third shot, or go to the backhand. A lot of options from that side of the fairway for Brody. GTOB off the second shot. Nice recovery.
I got to wait my step.
Nice powerful forehand there by Jake. It's going to be still short. However, a good safe shot. Not trying to add to any of the damage that he took with the OB stroke. I believe we've got Big Germ with a birdie look coming up. He's over on hole number 9. He's still looking. Traffic control. Logan's wondering if Brody is going to be ready to throw, and if he's prepping to throw next, or if he's just having a conversation with his caddy. And it looks like Brody is in fact getting ready. He's been game planning it.
Brody is going to go to the sidearm. Overstable disc. Just try to pitch it up by the pin. Little low, little short. You'll have a birdie putt from there. Logan on the exact opposite side of the fairway, going to go to the backhand.
Similar distance. Bullseye hit.
It's hard not to root for a guy that makes it look easy. And goes and talks to the crowd.
I was just going to say a little celebrity timeout over there. I like it. Loving the local support. And Wysocki says, I'll see your bullseye and I'll match it. And Lazad has landed here from the drop zone.
No way.
Simon, how? You throw it so far, put yourself in such great position, but doesn't convert. That is heartbreaking for Simon Lazad. So he's going to walk away from hole 9 with the bogey. Back with Jake. He's going to the backhand. Stand still.
Yeah, that's Jake's 4th shot. And after the OB off the tee, he's going to get a nice par. For Ricky Wysocki, has the tap-in birdie there. I would think for him, hole number 9, a crucial hole, keeping it inbounds off the tee. Once he gets past hole 9, holes 10, 11, 12, and 13, all par 3s. Ricky played really well on all of those except for 13. And what a putt from Brody. Nice step putt. Birdie. Should clarify, Ricky played well on those holes yesterday. He'd be looking to play well on them today.
Jake limiting the damage here. Don't go anywhere. We've got more disc golf coming to you on Championship Sunday.
Just kept telling myself, you know, one shot at a time, just worry about your shot and not anything else.
What a shot. Here's Dickerson.
You can't control what anybody else does, so.
That was incredible. When he needed it most.
Two-time major champion, Chris Dickerson.
Tyler Classical Academy has been incredible. These kids are super excited for disc golf.
I didn't learn about disc golf until I was in my mid-20s, but I'm so happy that these kids do and they're getting the chance to try it out.
This is a fantastic program and a fantastic opportunity for our school to have professionals come in and take over the PE program for a day and expose these kids to the joys that they can have in just watching a disc fly through the air.
The youth is really going to come in a strong wave to the sport of disc golf.
Welcome back. We've got Big Germ. Tee of hole number 10. This should set up very well for the sidearm shot. That is short and on the right side. Hole 10, the tightest fairway that we find on the course. Also the newest hole here at the Emporia Country Club course. Wysocki's tee shot on 9. Flirting with the left side guardian trees, but that is a smash for Ricky Wysocki.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, one of the scarier tee shots on this course, having to come out this gap. There's just OB left and deep woods on the right. Nothing on the right OB here on hole number 9. But the further right you are, the more difficult the hole gets. Logan short, did not make the inbounds as the tee pad is located in the OB.
And you're saying there's not OB on the right side, but it might as well be. It's like a natural OB
Exactly.
almost. So punishing if you get hung up on that right side. And Brody filters through most of it. This also looks good for Jake.
Yeah, going a little bit too far right, though. It's going to be a tough angle, but he got a lot of distance off the tee. The OB for Logan will precede him to the drop zone.
Now Simon Lazad, tee of hole number 10.
This is the exact shot Simon wants to throw, but that tree, you got to get around if you want to get right to the pin, but still relatively close for Simon.
Vinyl Macula putting it together in the last 3 holes. He's picked up birdies on 9, 10, and 11, and prior to that, Looks like he got him on 5 and 6, so he's got 5 birdies in the last 7 holes.
Yeah, and a man that he's now tied with, too, James Conrad, who we watched yesterday have a struggling 3rd round, 5 under today's round. No bogeys for Conrad, also tied with Makila at 1 under for the tournament.
There's currently a 4-way tie at 3, or a 4-way tie for 3rd.
At 1 under.
Crazy.
There they are. And then the leader at 9 and Logan at 4. Trouble for Logan.
He just needs to throw the Simon shot here.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what we all need.
Yeah, it was drawn up earlier.
This is more of a reality for people. It's got to be okay. Inbounds, barely for Logan. That short grass right there is OB on this hole.
Stretched out Big Germ. Doesn't convert on the birdie. I believe just in front of Big Germ is where Simon Lazad had landed. So from the other angle, here's what Simon's left with for birdie. Converts on that one. I think about the difficulty on the previous putt to save the par. This one much more challenging, and he converts. Brian, you're out there on 9. Can you give us any idea? Looks like Brody's taking his time to figure it out. What are you thinking from there?
He seems a little bit too tight to the right side and far back to have an opportunity to actually bend the corner and beat the OB. He's going to have to lay up to the front of it unless he pulls something miraculous out of his pocket.
Yeah, for Smith here, as Brian said, just a layup. He's got to avoid the OB. The OB does bump out on the far left part of this fairway. Got to keep it short of that. He's done. Be a tricky 3rd shot, kind of coming uphill down to a basket that's tucked back into the woods.
You know, this is the first mistake that we had seen by Logan on this tee shot. We'll see what he can do if he can possibly walk away still with just a bogey. But Brian, you said you also maybe checked in with Logan, the local superstar. Did you get any other insights out of him?
Yeah, he actually just straight up almost sought me out like he wanted me to report this to you, Terry, but he came up to me and told me that his legs were physically shaking for the first 4 holes of the tournament. And then he actually proceeded to give me a demonstration of what they looked like. It was wild, Terry.
All right, well, he has settled in nicely. Yes, he's made 1 mistake here on 9, which is a very difficult hole, but Ricky Wysocki making very quick work of the 3rd most challenging hole on the course today.
What an insane tee shot.
Yeah, he's now going to pick up a birdie. That'll be his 5th on the front 9. It's the gentle Anheuser. Perfect speed. Hits just short of the pin, slides up to it. Wysocki in complete control. That's the red flag out of bounds for Jake. Up ahead on the tee of 11, Simon Lazad. This has a gentle bend from right to left, so it's essentially just a hyzer for a righty backhand thrower. And now it's a park job for that righty backhand thrower. Simon Lazad parked on 11.
Ooh, not a great skip there. Kind of got back in those woods a little bit. Hard putt upcoming there for Smith. Back to Burr. The same hole as Lazad, hole number 11. Nice shot.
This is when we saw the park job from Simon thinking, man, that's probably going to be a CTP closest to the pin, and Gannon Burr goes out and follows that same trail.
Yeah, Burr there at even par. 2 under on today's round, even par for the tournament. Logan able to chip up. Still a little bit left there for Logan.
GT. Well, this angle looks great. And that's exactly why it skips up the basket. Thankfully stopped it. There's a chance if that hyzered hard enough off the skip and it flared, it could have gone left out of bounds. And if it didn't do that, it was going to be at least 30 feet deep. So good thing the basket got in the way. These guys are out basket hunting on the chase card.
Massive mistake, though, for Jake here. I mean, from a great tee shot, he goes OB left in an area that there's just nothing. There's just nothing for Jake. Because, you know, he's trying to look here on this left side, but remember, the OB line is right there. He can't stand out of bounds.
Brian, I know you're not on caddy duty, but any suggestions? Does he have anything there?
I mean, Terry certainly doesn't have a shovel putt. I don't think he's going to shovel putt from a knee here. But he looks like he's lining up a framed up spin putt. He's got a drop off behind the basket, though. I'm not sure if he's laying up or running it here, but he is a pretty aggressive player from what I know.
It looked like he had the speed for it, but didn't quite have the window.
Okay, so not a great upshot from Logan. This is a crucial bogey putt for Logan Harpol. Right at the edge of the circle. Got to straddle out. And as Brian said, it does slope away to some woods, or, you know, some kind of bushes behind the basket. Wow, nice
How
putt.
impressive.
Really nice putt.
I mean, just showing so many different skill sets out here.
And it was a crucial putt because now we're heading into that run of par 3 holes. This is when all 4 guys in this group need to, you know, kind of just pedal to the metal at this point because we know Wysocki's going to. Super confident birdie here on 9. They all got to keep pace with the leader.
Brody from short range doesn't connect. Meanwhile, Ricky Wysocki is just sitting around eating a sandwich, waiting for everyone else to get out of his way so he can tap in his birdie. See Corey Ellis out there taking in the action. Going to take another look as we roll the Zucker replay from Logan Harpol. Poised and confident. If he had any bit of hesitation or nerves, as we said, it looks like he's shaking them off perfectly fine and holding his own and then some here on this lead card. He sits in a tie for second. We're going to move over to hole number 10. This is a brand new design here, Nate.
Yeah, very wooded hole here. This tree right on the left. If you can throw a sidearm out and around that, there is an OB line right there, but you got to commit. And if you get out and around that, you can skip right back into the pin anything on that inside line typically finds the woods on the right, and I can't help but think about this hole for the World Championship and how much thicker those bushes will be once spring is complete, everything having leaves, foliage. This is a tough little hole if you can't commit to that sidearm. The backhand, nearly impossible on a 330-foot par 3. That said, 22% of the field have taken birdies here on 10. Playing as the 8th easiest hole. The mistake on the sidearm for a lot of players is just not fully committing and finding the bushes on the right. The word I've really heard out on the practice field on the players here on this hole is the OB on the left is so intimidating and so close that they do find it difficult to fully commit.
See if that fights back for Logan. It catches, and Brian, 1, is it inbounds, and 2, what does the putt look like?
You know, Terry, on this particular one, looks like he is a little bit out of bounds, about by 5 feet. Once he takes it back in, he'll have a decent look from circle 2.
Appreciate it, Brian.
Yeah, so unfortunate there from Logan because he did fully commit, and that late hit was kicking him left OB.
Here we are on the tee of 12 with Simon Lazad. Back to 10 with Jake. Pretty commonplace for people to get caught up, as we've seen throughout the weekend. Now, Simon. We'll give this a long stab at it.
Get it, baby. Get it, get it. That's right.
You just never know when Simon Lazad is going to throw something in from really anywhere on the course.
Yeah, Simon has a fantastic spin putt. Able to get a lot of power behind it just from a standstill.
And with Ricky Wysocki sitting comfortably ahead of everyone by 7, you have to start to look at who else is going to be fighting for those top spots, who else can find themselves on the podium. Also, who's going to be earning some serious Disc Golf Pro Tour points. We know that every point matters throughout the season. Right now, Logan and Simon tied for second. Gannon, GT, Chris Dickerson, Vino Macula, all tied for 4th. This is big germ for Birdie. Just the fact that he could get that to basket height was impressive, seeing that he had the low ceiling. Still Brody. Looking, they may have just recorded a full podcast in this time. And the flick out, the gallery approves. You can rate that one on the App Store. Gannon Burr with the long jumper.
Great looking jump putt there from Ricky.
GT with a look here on 12.
And that putt from GT moves him into solo 4th place position. He's 3 under on his round today, 2 under for the tournament. Right in position for a podium finish.
Interesting to see Jake go to the step putt from that distance in that particular situation.
Trying to decide where Logan's disc went out of bounds. Ooh, this is a tough C2 putt here. That big branch, or excuse me, the whole tree that comes out, just so hard. Fix the angle. Oh, and he handled it nicely right off the front of the rim. That'll be back-to-back bogeys for Harpol.
Smith still left with work to do here. Right side corner pocket for Brody Smith. Ricky will tap in for a par as Logan struggles, but we're heading into the back half. Stay tuned. You're watching Disc Golf right here on the Disc Golf Network.
I mean, it's literally the most popular disc of all time in the history of the sport. At its core, it's one of the most important tools a player has in their bag, a dependable, straight-flying mid-range. But the legacy of the Buzz goes a lot deeper than just that.
Welcome back to the Back 9 Championship Sunday here at the Dynamic Disc Open. We're going to move over to Simon Lazad over on 13.
So good.
And Simon able to use his distance to his advantage. Great look for Birdie for Simon here on 13. Back to 10. We saw the chase card here on 10. Excuse me, the chase card here on hole number 11. Played extremely well, 48% birdies. On number 11, it's a big hyzer, 404 feet. With the wind today, the players have been taking dead aim at this basket. I think a smart move there from Ricky to take it on the wide side. He'll just be outside circle 1, but still a chance to make his birdie. There is OB behind the basket on that angle.
Smith doesn't like it. That's heading left in a hurry. And that's going to be out of bounds way back, Nate.
Yeah, that's really the only mistake you can't make. Hence why we saw Ricky go to that wider hyzer. Yeah, that's going to be a long way back for Smith. Oh, that's the perfect shot. Off the sidewalk for GT. Looking good.
Great shot there by Jake.
Yeah, similar back on hole number 8. The way the fairway and the way that out of bounds sort of runs, the starting point is so crucial here. The one from Smith way too far inside. You got to find that starting point and then just let the hyzer drift to the pin. Just like that.
I'm going to roll back, take a look at Logan Harpol's form.
Well, very compact. Not a lot of steps here. Short reach back and great extension. A lot of times off the tee pad here. I like to look at that front foot. You see how that front foot's got that inner turn to it? That's where the player creates all of his power. And nice front-facing form there for Harpol. Very simple, but very effective.
Thank you, Ideo, as they have created a disc golf shoe just for us. Can't really complain about that when you have some creative and talented designers out there taking to disc golf. We appreciate it. Thanks for supporting us here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour and the Disc Golf Network. Make sure you check out Ideo shoes.
Simon Lazad, for the moment, has moved into a solo second place position. Still 6 back of Ricky.
Great recovery shot there by Brody Smith. He will likely be walking away with the bogey 4.
I look at a day like today for Brody the same way I look at it for any new player on the lead card. It's all positive. It's a great opportunity for him to be put under the most highly of stressful situations in front of the big crowd, in front of the cameras. And GT picking up 3 birdies in a row. He now in a solo 3rd place position, 1 shot behind Simon. So the guys on the chase card are battling for the podium at the moment. Logan Harpol, the chance to make birdie and get back in a tie with GT, but first Ricky.
Wysocki's effort from about 38 feet is just shy. He'll walk away with a par most likely. Again, low. We saw one of those earlier, but it just barely slides in. He'll take it. And he converts.
Yeah, up and in for Harpol.
Fun fact, we're seeing that Logan is currently tied with the least amount of OB strokes out of any of the competitors in the field. Him and Tim Barham, both with 9. Pretty impressive if you think about the 4 rounds that have taken place out here with the windy conditions over these last 4 days. If you want to watch all of those windy conditions, along with all the extra exclusive footage that comes to you before we give it to you free on the final day on YouTube, then you need to subscribe. Disc Golf Network, the home of live disc golf. If you're a PDGA member, you even get an additional discount for signing up. We appreciate you guys for joining us and supporting live disc golf. Saw Simon Lazad on the first day. Here we are seeing him on the 4th day. He'd like to feast on this par 5.
Terry, that is huge. A very Terry, par 4 for the MPO, but a very difficult one at that. Even with that great tee shot from Simon, long second shot to a very tricky green that slopes away from the players. Only 2 birdies on the day over there on hole number 14.
Well, and I think about, maybe I was thinking of it as a par 5 because it is so long and challenging, but they had to back it up because I think it just played too easy in previous years. We've seen some massive throws by our competitors to get to the pin. In fact, we've seen, I believe, even the eagle skip shot that had gone in a couple of years ago to the shorter position. So Eric McCabe and crew discussed it, and they backed it up.
Terry, I know about 100 people that would argue with you on the easy aspect of hole number 14.
I'm speaking on Eagle McMahon and Simon Lazad's behalf here.
Okay.
You know, with those kind of throws.
What a shot. Out and around the big bushy tree there. The circle 1 for Jake. With the wind being at essentially a non-factor, the players able to go out and around. Same thing there for Logan. Would expect Ricky to be hunting this basket as well. The big sidearm out and around the bushy tree. It does play slightly uphill here on number 12. Oh, and Ricky too far inside. Gets caught up in the big tree there.
Brody Smith also going with the forehand. Let's see if he can clear the tree. You can see all the shots, but we're going to play through here on 12.
So we've heard the question, what is Power Grip? Power Grip is Europe's #1 disc golf shop, online at powergripeurope.com. Plus, we just opened up our 5th retail location in Finland. We're here at Power Grip USA. We're going to be online to start, but we have plans for multiple retail locations throughout the United States in the years to come. We have a little bit more work to do, but go online, powergripusa.com. Sign up for 20% off your first order. We'll see you soon.
Hey everyone, I'm Katrina Allen and I'm here with my SP Vortex. We ran a limited number in the SP plastic to commemorate my 6th PDGA Player of the Year. We also incorporated my new logo. The Vortex is a understable fairway driver. Instead of forcing my mids, I like to use this. I like to pop it on some hyzer, let the disc do all the work. Lots of glide, understable, great in the woods, great for easy distance. You can find these at discgolf.com/Katrina.
Seeing action unfold here on 12. Logan Harpol cans it from way downtown.
So great to see C2 putts going in the basket again.
I feel like the last couple of days, not only do we have layups from C2 and even from within C1, but now we have plenty of solid putting taking place here on 12 as Brody Smith answers.
Yeah, that's a nice comeback birdie for Smith.
Waiting for it to come to rest at the bottom of the basket. And Ricky with the dunk. He's going to pick up his third par in a row. Let's take another look at this Logan Harpol putt.
Today will be a day Logan Harpol will never forget. Great effort, the crowd loving it. There's nothing like Championship Sunday making putts and putting down some fantastic statistics.
As we're taking a look at our Paragon Disc Golf notable statistics, you see that one of the best ones out there for him, this fairway hit 78%. C1X putting, not necessarily killing it, so to speak, but he's clearly consistent throughout all of the stats. When he adds them all up, he's finding himself in a tie for second at the moment. Love seeing it. He's tied with this man, Simon Lazad. Logan and Simon both at 4 under. They have a 1-stroke advantage over GT Hancock at the moment.
That's good, thank you.
We saw the same thing yesterday. They had asked just to back the spectators off slightly on the right side of this fairway. On hole number 13. Some players may opt to hang it out over in that direction, or even if it's finishing and it's starting to skip, they want to make sure that no spectators can come into play. And that's going to be low. Safe, but low.
He just made a putt from about that distance, so he knows what it feels like to get the birdie here. On 13, you really have to commit to throwing at those spectators out of bounds and swinging it back in just at the last second.
Four.
Just enough. It's exactly what you need to do. It's a scary moment watching that disc so far to the right of out of bounds, bringing it back in.
tighter to the left side, and that, I believe, is going to skip out of bounds. We can double check with Brian Earhart. Brian, is that OB?
You know, Terry, from where I'm at, I can't quite tell just yet. I'm trying to track it right now.
Ricky doesn't like it. And it hits an OB flag, so when Brian does check back in, he can confirm. I'm going to assume that's out of bounds as well, but we'll see if we can get a definitive answer. And someone who's inbounds, in fact, he's just about in the bullseye here, Jake Hebenheimer. Big, huge, sweeping hyzer.
Well, Jake, they didn't get in the way, and you got the payoff for it. It's going to be a great chance to pick up his birdie. Terry, I was just looking at Ricky Wysocki. Since he made that easy birdie back on 9, he's parred the last 3 holes, and now OB. Here's Lazad. No, off the top. Terry, yesterday this hole got Simon as well. Possible 3-putt upcoming from Simon. But yeah, Ricky with the OB. Long putt for par coming up. That was a par putt there for Ricky. Or excuse me, for Simon.
And as we were just taking a look, we'll hear from Brian whenever he's ready. Thinking that if there was a 2-stroke swing with Ricky and Logan possibly, that 6-stroke difference could become 4. And Brody retrieving his from out of bounds.
So the danger here for Wysocki is he is putting directly towards the out of bounds. The OB just a handful of steps away from the sidewalk. Anything off the top could be an issue.
And Brian has confirmed with me that Brody was out by about 6 inches and that Ricky is also, in fact, OB. Exactly as you were calling, Nate. There is OB very close as Ricky was putting at the basket. However, he's going to be inbounds. He's going to walk away most likely then with a bogey, and that'll be his first blemish on the scorecard today. Logan can't take advantage of the opportunity.
But still going to get one more stroke back on the leader. So that's the standstill version of his putt. No step. Ricky for bogey. Ooh, and high in the chains, but it stays in for Ricky. Still a big lead for Ricky, but not playing as well as he would like on that stretch of 4 par 3s in a row.
Smith taps in for the bogey after the penalty stroke. Here we have Simon Lazad on 15.
This should fit right into Simon's wheelhouse. A little bit left, but great hyzer spiking down.
Lazad sticks the landing on 15. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I just got a chance to test out the new black hole portal, and I really enjoy it. There's 4 rows of chains. They've updated it with galvanized steel chains. That gives the chains more texture and a better chance to catch your putter. I think it's going to be a great target moving forward.
Details are everything when you're at the top of your craft. It starts with a sound routine, body alignment, grip pressure, making sure that the upper body and the lower body are in sync, angle control, which then leads into the follow-through. Everything has to be correct. My craft is in the detail.
Jake on the tee of 15.
Yes, sir.
Correction, 14.
Impressive sidearm there from Jake. Today, 14 playing as the most difficult hole. So from what Terry Miller said is an easy hole last year to the most difficult with the longer basket. Of course, I'm kidding.
I was just thinking, if I'm birdieing it every time I play it in practice, I mean, it is too easy then, Nate. Come on.
I mean, that is the most truthful thing you've said all day today, Terry Miller. But crucial tee shot here, number 14. Need to get it not only in bounds, but well down the fairway at 893 feet. If you're too far back, the pin is in such a tight location, it's really hard to attack it. Logan not in great position here.
He's going to be adding 1 to his scorecard with the penalty. Here's Smith fighting back closer to the center of the fairway.
Wow, so Logan was OB there. Advantage to Ricky. Yeah, patented power sidearm from Ricky Wysocki. A little bit further right than he would like. It's going to be a tough second shot there too, but a lot of distance down the fairway.
GT Hancock. Tee of hole number 15.
Not too far in for GT. It'll sit down. So you can see the trees there, kind of center, upper, middle. That's where most of the players landed here in this group, minus Jake, who got out in the fairway. And then at the top of your screen is down where the basket is, upper right-hand corner, basket located there. It's a very difficult second shot just because of that slope. OB on the right, and the golf green is OB as well.
And speaking of the OB, I'm hearing from Brian that Logan was OB just by a foot. So that is going to be maybe a little extra painful. No penalty stroke. All counts the same on the scorecard, but sometimes you'd rather be OB by 10 feet versus 1.
Crucial moment here for Logan. What I would say, the fear for Logan here is the fact that he would try to get too aggressive, because a second out of bounds is very possible. That OB on the right can come into play, the OB on the left. Placement shot crucial. Oh, and that tree kick is going to be very helpful. Had he missed that tree, he was tracking directly at the out of bounds. Simon, great birdie there.
He is now 7 under for the round.
and within 4 of Wysocki. Brody wisely playing that one safe. Kind of expect the same from Ricky. Exactly as he needed to do. Keep it inbounds. From there, a relatively easy chip to the green. You can see there the basket. And the player's back in front of that ball golf green. Jake, on the other hand, out here in good position to try for the green if he wants. Whoa. And lining up a spike hyzer.
This could be dangerous if it doesn't come back inbounds late in its flight.
I'm just not sure he can anticipate how big the tree is. It's a large tree. He's got to get it way up there.
Tough for us to tell on that one. Brian, are you up near the green? Can you give us a read?
Yeah, he's all good. Hit the top of the tree and dropped straight down. He gave it a try, that's for sure.
How far out is he?
I would say he's about 150 feet blind to the basket, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly as I thought. That tree just too big. Crucial tee shot for Lazad.
Oh, and after just barely catching left side of the island, it then falls out of bounds. Simon Lazat will go to the drop zone on 16.
Just a little too high. Too much drift on that hyzer for Lazat. You can see all three, or 3 of the 4 walking to the top of the hill to judge the speed and distance. Right where that pin's located is a steep slope down towards that fence.
Connor, can you shoot that?
Let me know when you 170.
And playing to the blind green, no problems for Logan. Great touch with that approach. Big germ here on 16. Always thinking about, could you dare ace it twice in a row, and this time coming up well short of the island. At no point did it look anything like this one.
I guess Big Germ needed one of the worst wind days we've ever seen to get a hole-in-one on a crazy hole like 16. And a little bit short there for Smith. He's going to have to putt downhill at it. Here's Jake.
And also great touch for Jake on the approach.
Last but not least, it'll be Ricky Wysocki. You know, Ricky's just a few good shots away from taking this tournament down, but the crucial thing is that 16th hole. What does he do on 16?
No problems with the backhand approach also. So those guys making it look easy. We'll catch back up with Gannon Burr. And this is tracking right at the pin. What a shot by Gannon Burr.
How did it not go in? Where did it miss?
There's the distance for Smith.
And scoop that one up with no problems. They'll head over to the tee of 15. Meanwhile, GT, tee of 16. Looking to hit the back wall. And then a little roll, and it will check up just fine. I'm guessing we're going to see just a little pitch over to the pin and a layup from that. That's about as far away from the pin as you can be while being in bounds. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love to see him run at it. I just don't think that's the prudent call at this point.
Gannon Burr, dangerous putt here. Just 2.5 steps to the water behind the pin from his perspective.
I don't call a lot of shots, but I think Gannon Burr has this one.
Let's hope so, for his sake.
Solid work, Gannon Burr. You gotta love that. After the ace run, still getting the birdie. There's nothing more frustrating than coming so close to ringing it up and then walking away with a par. So nice work by Gannon.
That's not it. Be nice to me.
15A, 439-foot par 3. That was a big miss by Jake. There's OB right and left. You really just want to aim down the right-hand OB line and let your hyzer drift back into the pin around that last tree. Oh, just like that one, Terry.
Great shot by Brody Smith. And the layup, understandably, by GT. I respect that all day.
You're making some good calls over there on 16,
well,
Terry.
To be fair, that one was a pretty obvious one. I was rolling the dice on Gannon, but not really, because I know just how good he can putt. And we know how good Ricky Wysocki, the two-time world champ, is. Trying to take advantage of the 14th easiest hole on the course.
Curl. Curl. Come on.
Needing the curl. Calling for it. It's going to be deep, but don't go anywhere. Just a few holes left to play at the Dynamic Disc Open.
We are dedicated to the game. Developing technology and providing data that helps you take the next step. Whether it's your next training session, league night, or major. Because we believe the best way to grow the sport is to push the sport. And the best way to do that is together. We're focused on the future to make that happen.
Hey, I'm Johannes.
Hey, I'm Jonathan.
And today we're going to talk about how to aim.
You have some problems with the distance, the timing, and pretty much everything. This is kind of the ground or the beginning of the throw.
There you go. So we're going to throw some forehands.
Oh yeah. Then you just stroke the board and then you push it in the basket. You should never, ever throw your max on a golf course.
What?
Jake heading to the drop zone.
Nice shot from Jake. 15 is officially a island, hence the drop zone for the out of bounds tee shot.
As we're keeping an eye on the leaderboard, I think about Simon Lazad, who did claim a Glass Blown Open title here back in 2014. GT Hancock on the tee of 17. That's a very solid shot. Simon Lazad's chances are dwindling here as Ricky Wysocki appears to be in full control. Nate, you also have one of those beautiful trophies, don't you? You got a couple of them at the house.
Yeah, I do. Valerie has one as well. They sit next to each other on the trophy mantle. Very proud of the victories here in Emporia. Such a great disc golfing city. I'm proud to have a piece of glass blown history on my mantle. This putt there for Logan. I'm looking at the top 10, Terry, and I'm seeing Logan Harpol, Jake Hebenheimer, GT Hancock, Vino Makila, all opportunities not only to have some of their best finishes of their career, but as you said, take a lot of points home with them as well. Nice birdie there for Smith. James Conrad just finished out on 18. James up to even par for the tournament in a tie for 10th place, along with Calvin Heimberg, who finished at even par on his tournament as well. Ricky getting his birdie.
Yeah, and looking at that leaderboard, just seeing there's 10 players under par after almost 4 rounds of competitive action. Very different story from what we see at most tournaments. Simon Lazat, tee of 17.
Drifted just a little bit left, not out of bounds, but not as far down as you would have wanted. Here's number 16, the famous island hole here at the Country Club. The new tee pad, just beautiful, concrete on a dock over water, and then the island green. That back wall is the out of bounds line. Players trying to utilize the back wall to their advantage. Today the wind very low. Expect to see all 4 men go for the green. I'm looking out from our perch here in the booth, Terry, and for the first time in a long time, the flags are not moving at all. Completely calm conditions here. This new tee pad does create a wonderful angle for our players to go for the hyzer on the backhand or sidearm side.
The very colorful Cat merch out there taking in the action. Hey, Cat, hope you're doing well. And I'm going to call her out. I even got a message from Katrina Allen. Her and Austin Hannum are en route to their next event. They're also watching along. So glad some of our top professionals. Katrina in an incredible battle this morning. Unfortunately for her, hole 16 seemed to be the demise, actually, as she was chasing down Kristen Tatar. I cannot say enough. I had goosebumps as I'm watching them play these final few holes. Quite the effort by Katrina, and I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to see more of that in the future. Katrina, Kristen, Paige, all of them so incredibly competitive. Earlier today, this was Tatar putting it on the green on hole number 16. Kat laid up to the right-hand side. She was safe. Kristen Tatar then had this putt that just barely stays in bounds. That's going to leave her with an easy par to tap in. Kat, whose putting did look so solid throughout, catches an edge, rolls out of bounds. She quickly retrieves the putter. She ultimately taps in. And then from there, Kristen Tatar was able to hold her off. But just a great battle between the two of those champions. Here's Brody Smith. Scaring the basket.
Ace run and inbounds. Nice job by Brody. Can't help but think in 4 months from now, see Tatar, Pierce, Allen all going at it.
I see some Evelina and some of the other superstars. We just saw Kat Mertz, who had a great performance in Jonesboro. So much parity now on the FPO side. Certainly can't pick an outright winner before you head into the tournament because they'll surprise you week in and week out. Kristen with a great visit here as she's about to head back to Estonia. But here's Ricky Wysocki visiting no man's land out there right now.
Yeah, very fortunate for Ricky that he has a 6-shot lead. And there is a goose, Canadian goose, back behind that wall that's actually sitting on some eggs, I believe. Quiet spot behind that wall.
Just needs just to sit down.
Does not sit down. Just finding the OB.
And not getting to the island green. Jake will move over to the drop zone. Surprising to see someone with so much power come up significantly short that really didn't even have a chance to get there.
Just goes to show you how difficult this hole is, even in perfect conditions. And just 320 feet, the player's unable to find on the island. Tough.
Taking another look at that. Just holding the pose, waiting for it. Fine land. Oh no, it doesn't. Simon Lazad up ahead on 17. Simon sitting in sole possession of second at the moment. Now back with Wysocki. And giving it a run, but it nestles just behind the pin. Another pitch over here for Jake. I'm going to throw it out to you, Brian. I know some of those fans out there on 16 having a really good time. I know that some of them were downtown last night even having a good time. How's the vibe and the energy out there?
You know, the crowd is pretty much all in unison with their gasps yet again. As we saw one trickle into the water earlier there. They're having a fantastic day out here. Everyone's having a good time. Multiple cards getting followed by different fans. And they're all getting ready to pile up on hole 18 for a fantastic finish.
Terry, I know you were having a great time last night at the block party.
Yeah, so many activities taking place. The Dynamic Disc Open doesn't disappoint. DD puts on just an incredible show year in and year out. And Brody Smith getting it done here on 16.
That now back-to-back birdies for Brody Smith. Back to even par on his tournament. One over on today's round. Ricky going to make the bogey.
Jake and Logan both will do the same, as in card bogeys. And they both have just 2 holes left to play.
There's just 3 cards left on the course.
And thanks to our friends over at Ace Trace, I think we're going to take another look at this Brody Smith drive. The only guy to find inbounds and not far off the mark at all.
And the Ace Trace actually aced the basket.
Well, if you want to show how your friends that you're running at Aces, go out and download the app today. You can find Ace Trace. Makes it so easy to show, well, simply to show off to your friends. We appreciate all the support. Thank you to Ace Trace.
I mean, you can even Ace Trace first available.
Yeah.
You can do it on any shot you want.
Maybe you don't have a lot of power left, battery power on your phone. And you're like, okay, I just have this short clip. Here's a short throw. Ace Trace has got you covered. Long approach by Lazad. This is JT for par, or GT, if I want to get it right. He's getting it right.
Good solid par from GT after going OB on his second shot.
Somebody, he should be calling into the booth. Somebody put some respect on that name. I apologize, GT.
Don't worry, Terry. He forgives you.
I've got plenty of mistakes to make. Well, Brody Smith picking up a couple of birdies in the last few holes, has the honors here, 17.
Good power. He did get around that initial tree, but did go left. No OB over there, just bushes. Shot here on 17, a low power shot. Try to keep it to the left of the row of trees on the right and keep it right of the row of trees on the left. Keep it right in the middle.
That's perfect. Wow.
I feel like Ricky could be out there rowing a boat with that hat today.
Fantastic tee shot from Ricky Wysocki. Nice smile from Ricky as well. 6-shot lead currently over Simon.
That's really nice.
Great shot for Logan. A couple birdies available still for Logan to make, and chance to be in second place, third place. Podium spot still up for grabs.
Good reaction, although he hit the tree, good reaction off of it. And this man who won in 2016 his first World Championships, just a few throws away, trying to close it out here today. Don't go anywhere. We've got the exciting conclusion coming right up. As we overlook hole 16, 17, 18, that general area. Ricky Wysocki, along with his tour manager, Ari. I believe we have Corey Ellis hanging out there as well. Just another day at the park for Ricky Wysocki.
Yeah, and I think for Ricky, you know, we'll look back on the stats for this week, and they're not going to be tremendous for Ricky, you know. I mean, he's definitely been one of the more consistent players, but I think more than anything for Ricky, it was just that mental determination that he's had since the very first round. He knew it was going to be difficult conditions, but he came out, survived, and just a couple of holes left for Ricky, but a lot on the line for the other three in the group. I mean, we had the opening where we talked about Ricky and the dark horses, and I think overall all three of these guys have played pretty well today. In fact, even Brody, who had some trouble, has picked up a lot of birdies as well. So a lot of positives to take away for all three of the other competitors on the lead card.
Impressive.
We were talking yesterday about only one player under par. Today, with the better conditions, both Kyle Klein and Anthony Barella shot 6 under par. Simon Lazad currently sitting at 5 under with 1 hole to play. And Vino Makila came in with a 5 under as well, moving himself into tie for third. This will be Vino's best finish in an Elite Series event. Impressive job by the Finnish player.
Also noting in a tie for third, Aaron Gossage went bogey free today, picking up 5 birdies. Solid work out there.
Short run up here for a long shot from Smith. Got to get a lot of power behind this one.
I think he's ready soon. Throws a dart. Nice shot by Brody Smith.
Great chance for Logan here. Going to go to the sidearm. Saw this from Tatar earlier. A lot of air under it. Oh, and he hits the tree. He is in bounds, but a long ways away from the basket. It's a missed shot from Logan.
Depending on how Logan and Simon shake out, Logan trying to increase his payout a little bit. Looks like he may need to pick up a stroke or two. If he does, could be as much as a $1,600 difference. GT, hole 18. Wysocki also making it look easy.
Yeah, that difference in payout you're referring to, Terry, is the difference between a tie for third place and a tie for second place. Simon Lazad currently in second place by himself. If Logan Harpol can shoot one under par on these two holes, although he's pretty much in a position just for par, here's his chip up. So if he can birdie the last hole and Simon pars, he'd finish in a tie for second. Hebenheimer a chance to move into a tie for third with Logan Harpol, and he would, in theory, have a chance to tie Simon as well with a birdie on 18 if he can make this.
Solid effort by Jake. Not getting too far ahead of ourselves, but thinking about the payouts, we're looking at roughly $8,600 for first place, second place $5,100, third place $3,400, and rounding out the four, taking home $2,500 for a fourth place finish. Here's Simon Lazad.
Going to go to the massive spike hyzer here for Simon. Danger written all over this one.
The thud really says it all. Simon Lazad just a few feet from the pin.
And with that tap in for Simon, he'll go and lock in, minus some incredible throw-ins from the fairway, a solo second place finish for the German. There it is. Ricky at the top. Lazad theoretically will move to 4 under par, and then it's a battle for third. A big tie right now. Gossage is in. Makila is in. But what will Harpol and Hebenheimer do?
Where's the band at? You know what stuff is?
The birdie on the previous hole brought Brody Smith to 1 under par. A birdie on 18 for Brody could move him into the current tie for third place at 2 under par. Got to hand it to Brody Smith. Very good resolve, birdieing the last 3 holes he's played. Made a lot of mistakes today, but he's also made a lot of really good shots.
30 foot up in a scissor hook right there. Come on, you had a scissor hook right over there. Oh, you were 30 feet up in the air. Hot one.
Just before we start to close things out on hole 18, I want to send it out one more time. Brian Earhart. Brian, you got anything you want to share with us before we cut you loose?
Terry, the top level of disc golf is evolving at a rapid pace. We are seeing brand new people on these lead cards with skill sets that rival Ricky, Paul, and all the best players in the game. Super exciting to see these people get their opportunity in the spotlight to battle against someone so great as Ricky Wysocki. Fantastic week of disc golf.
Certainly has been, and you nailed it just as you did all weekend long. Brian, thank you so much for hustling around the course 2 rounds a day, dealing with all those windy conditions, giving us all the insights, also all the clarifications. We appreciate you, buddy.
Silly. Get up there. Huh? Or just try to actually execute one time a straight shot. Execute a straight shot.
Hole 18 playing as his 7th most difficult.
You finally did it, Brody. You finally
What a
did
tee shot from Smith. Way up the fairway, inbounds.
Dropping it just in front of our catch cams. Huge shot for Smith.
Yeah, and he's going to have a great angle to take the safer route to the pin for Ricky Wysocki. One more inbounds tee shot's all it's going to take.
Every bit of it.
I can't help but think of the 2016 World Championships. Ricky Wysocki claiming his first of 2 world titles on this very hole at this very location and venue, the Emporia Country Club.
Keeping it. Keeping it.
That landing location for Jake going to leave him in a quandary. Does he go with the big hyzer we saw from Lazad, or does he try to play up and around the left? Logan overplaying this one, and that's out of bounds for Logan Harpol. An unfortunate mistake. For the crowd favorite today, Ricky Wysocki. This was 2016, the World Championship finish that you were just talking about, Terry. That was a heck of a tee shot.
Certainly was, as he was putting an end at that time to the reign of Paul McBeth, who had collected 4 world titles in a row. Ricky Wysocki going back-to-back 2016 and 2017.
And I can't help but think about the difference of the Ricky Wysocki of 2016 to the Ricky Wysocki of today. A very well mature man, and what a crowd favorite. Like I said last night, a giant crowd to visit with Ricky up on the green. Big Germ, Jeremy Colling finishing with a par and a 1 over for the tournament. That will put Big Germ in a tie for 13th. Gannon Burr finishing in a tie for 10th. And Simon Lazad is in 2nd place by himself.
Thank you to those gentlemen for providing additional excitement here today on the chase card. You certainly can never call it too early. You got to play all the holes, but Ricky Wysocki today looked in control and just went out and did all he needed to. Ricky Wysocki looking to claim the Dynamic Disc Open title.
Logan taking his relief. The out of bounds shot, going with the big hyzer. Here's Ricky going to go to a big hyzer as well. Oh, little slip for Ricky.
We got a decent skip. Yeah. I don't know if it's skip, but yeah, I'd probably just spiked. I'm fine with that. I had to contort to get up. I can't believe you tried. You would have. I would have. No, I wouldn't have. Too long.
This shot from Jake, potentially the biggest of his career at the moment. If he can get up and down for birdie, he would be solo third place on the podium all by himself. He's going to go for the big hyzer. We've seen it played a couple of times. Not a lot of wind. You just got to get enough distance all the way back to the basket.
No. I'm fine though. Thank God. I'm so lucky.
Got very lucky, not enough height over that tree, but got through it, which is a feat on its own. I think it would be a smart layup. A smash from Brody. Chance to get into the tie for third place.
Come on, baby. Call.
Brody Smith just dissecting hole number 18, making it look easy.
That putt for Brody Smith to go 4 for 4 on the final 4 holes. Smith, an incredible finish. Going to bring him back into that tie for third. I have goosebumps, Terry.
A live shot out over the pond that comes into play on 16 and 18. Jake spoke yesterday about making a name for himself, being on the coverage, coming out here, maybe winning over some fans. I think he's done just that. Here's Logan. And what a finish there, Logan. Solid putt here on 18.
An incredible save to stay in the tie for third for Logan Harpol. Impressive finish and a great tournament for him.
Same to be said, Brody Smith, very impressive. The resolve, the grit, determination to come back and finish as strong as he did today. Solid performance. Ricky Wysocki, though, your 2022 Dynamic Disc Open champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your 2022 Dynamic Disc Open champion, Ricky Wysocki!
Let's go.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
a great tournament, dude.
Appreciate it, buddy. Let's go. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Congrats. Stand by.
Well, Rick, congratulations on a fantastic victory. I'm going to cut to the chase here. You've played well at this course so many times. You've performed well here year after year. When it comes to your overall full potential, how satisfied with your play are you this week?
Obviously, I'm satisfied to get a win. Like you said, I'm done playing well here. I'm ready to win. So I wasn't letting that slip away, no matter what. And that was my mindset. Champions Cup, I let it slip away. So I've been in contention a lot of tournaments, and I'm just done being in contention. I put myself in that situation. I'm going to win, and that's what I do. And I'm just thankful that I was able to play a little bit more cautious, a little more safe down the stretch. But I think the first couple windy days allowed me to do that.
World Championships are coming back to these courses. We said time and time again. What adjustments are you going to be making on the Jones Supreme course and this course moving into that tournament?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about game plan. Course management's huge. Lots out of bounds out here, and just because you can throw it far doesn't mean you're going to get a lot of birdies. But yeah, you really just got to control your shots, control your landing zones. I think that's the most important, and I think up shots are super important also. A lot of fast greens, as you see on 18 here. So yeah, I'm super excited for the opportunity. This is going to build some confidence, and I'm looking forward to coming back.
At the previous Dynamic Disc Open, you received some absolutely devastating news about your sister, and you posted before this tournament that you were dedicating this week to her. You got the victory like you wanted. Any closing words for your sister here?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt like she was watching over me. I made that sick putt on 16 when she, I felt like she was looking over me, and I think the whole gallery and the whole crowd was here. And it was tough last year to get second and not be able to win, but this one's definitely for her. She's been a huge supporter in my career and my brand, and I think she's looking over me, and I think she definitely kept my disc in bounds a lot when it was that windy. So I'm just glad to get this win for her. Thanks for bringing that up, and huge shout out to the Wysocki family. This is always seems like it's going to be a memory in my head for just all the amazing things and the amazing part that my sister had in my career.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Let's go. Raptor Legs is back, baby. Yeah.
Thank you. Slammers? Who wants a couple slammers?
We would like to observe a moment of silence for Lauren Wysocki. Thank you.
And exactly as referenced by Ricky Wysocki, along with Brian out there, his sister's passing last year. This year he gets it done. He betters that second place finish. He leaves here a champion. Initial thought there, Nate?
Just so happy for Ricky. What a performance. I mean, really the work was done in the first 3 days. And then today he came out and did what champions do. When they're in that situation, just like Ricky said, they win. And Ricky came out and did it. He did it in a very professional manner, didn't make too many mistakes, had just 2 bogeys, one of them on the island because he went OB. But, I mean, what can you say about Ricky Wysocki? His family should be proud of him. I certainly am. I've known Ricky since he was a little kid, and he just continues to get better and better every year.
Well, he closed it out in professional and exciting fashion, exactly as you said. Before we close out our tournament, we're going to have the OTB after show. We'll also give you the shot of the day. We'll also have a very special guest. Logan Harpol will be joining us. We're going to catch up with him in the clubhouse. All of that and more on the other side of this commercial break.
I'm Garrett Girthy. People know me as Double G. I've been making Double G craft jerky since I was 16 years old.
Whether I'm at home or on the road, Double G craft jerky is the snack that I go for.
I've actually found myself eating Double G craft jerky on my long drives to the next tournament.
We all know Double G's got a big arm, but he's also got a big heart. Every bag of Double G jerky that you buy supports children's disc golf and goes to a great cause.
You can find Double G craft jerky at doublegjerky.com.
The crowd was so spectacular today. Just the energy from you all was just amazing.
I love you, Oregon!
Details are everything when you're at the top of your craft. Step up to my lie with good footing. I settle into my motion. My grip is firm but comfortable. Release my arm up. The release needs to pop. Focusing on what I'm going to do without any consequences. My craft is in the details because details are the difference.
So we've heard the question, what is Power Grip? Power Grip is Europe's #1 disc golf shop, online at powergripeurope.com. Plus, we just opened up our 5th retail location in Finland. We're here at Power Grip USA. We're going to be online to start, but we have plans for multiple retail locations throughout the United States in the years to come. We have a little bit more work to do, but go online, powergripusa.com. Sign up for 20% off your first order. We'll see you soon.
And the PDGA's own Hebenheimer is in the clubhouse with Logan Harpol. Let's hear from him now.
All right, we're here with Logan Harpol. Logan tied for 3rd at the Dynamic Disc Open in the Elite Series event. Like, what is going through your mind right now?
It's surreal. I came into the weekend with expectations, but they weren't lofty. They were realistic. I missed the cut here last year, so really I just wanted to play on Sunday, and I don't want to say it's advantageous when it's windy, but I'm used to it. I live an hour away from here, so it's nothing new. You get pretty good at laying up, and you just kind of know when to attack and when not to, but it's going to take a while to soak in. This isn't a win, but this is almost bigger than a win for me.
You know, you got a slight advantage with the win, but you still got to play well out here on these courses. So, you know, what are you most proud of about yourself this weekend?
Composure. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And even when you catch bad breaks early, getting down does absolutely nothing. And finding ways to stay positive and something to keep you grounded is key. And for me, it was a lot of prayer and knowing that disc golf is not my life and that my world doesn't revolve around this. And it makes the shot you throw in the water not seem like such a big deal.
You're a teacher.
Yes.
So any students out there rooting you on? Do they know what's happening this weekend?
I got some coworkers watching, Chris and Cameron. I'm pretty sure they're watching. So as far as students, they'll watch the post-production. But if I have a message to them, I was gone for 3 days this week, so they better got their homework done.
That's awesome. You talked about your putting routine at home. You visualized the finish here at the Emporia Country Club.
Yep.
To help you get ready. Did it work?
Yeah, for sure. I end every putting session. I don't know how many putts I put up. I go till it feels good, and I end every session with a putt that I visualize 16's pond, and then I visualize 17 and a death putt on 18. And I would have much rather it been for the win, but I checked UDisc, and if I bogey that, it's 7th. If I airball it, who knows, maybe 10th. But if I make it, I take 3rd. And you just get really, really confident in your own mind and send it and trust the work, and it was enough.
We'll be back here in a few months for the PGA World Championships. You gonna be here?
For sure. Yep.
What are you most looking forward to about the entire world coming back to Emporia?
Just disc golf. It's just disc golf. It's a bigger stage, but the game doesn't change. And if you get to this level and you try to switch your game up, I think it's one of the worst things you can do. Just be you, and if it's good enough, it's good enough. And this week it was good enough.
All right, that's Logan Harpol, fresh off a podium finish at the Dynamic Disc Open. Congratulations, Logan.
Thank you.
And composure, certainly a word I would use as I describe what we just heard from Logan, and also just the overall gratitude that he has. What a great perspective. The quote I wrote down from him is he said, "This isn't a win, but almost bigger than a win." And we talk about it, the largest stage, the Elite Series events. He shows up, makes a name for himself that much more. He said he's, plays here locally, and he doesn't live that far from here. But to come and perform on this stage under all the bright lights, pretty impressive.
Well, for a guy who doesn't play on tour, he's got his own hat. I thought that was pretty cool. But look, for 4 years in the sport, Logan Harpol, you are a very well-deserving person of this situation right now. What a smart guy. What a nice guy. And the way he's talking about, I think, is so crucial for a lot of people. It's not the end of the world. He had a great time, and he's going to go back to his friends and family back in his hometown. A hero, Logan Harpol. Great job.
Yeah, and I hope he just doesn't yell at me. I don't know if my homework's done. Well, we're going to have more insights because none other than Simon Lazad, also greenside. We're going to be able to check in with him now. He's also with Hayden Henry.
All right, we're here with Simon Lazad. Simon, a second-place finish at an Elite Series event. You threw your hands up after you tapped in. What was going through your mind?
Just so relieved. Nowadays, getting a top 3 or even a top 10 feels sometimes like such a tall task, and the conditions, obviously, I don't have to talk about that. It's probably been brought up a billion times, but wow, it was rough out there. And thank you for the FD3 and PD2, because that was all I was throwing all week, and it was a lovely day out there today. So fun to play, and I got rolling pretty good. The bogeys were very unnecessary, but other than that, I didn't check scores until hole 18, and then I saw I was still in second place after 2 bogeys in a row, 16 and 17, so I thought, there's no way. I thought maybe top 10. To see myself in second then gave me a little bit of motivation to birdie 18 to solidify the second place, and it's been a while, so it feels really good.
You're lining up that big over-the-top shot. Was that in your mind the whole time?
Yeah, that tee shot, now that they've changed the OB zone, I want to be basically as short as possible, but of course safety first. I threw it a bit further than I wanted to because I guess I was a bit nervous. But I still was barely short enough, like I think 10 feet further than I couldn't have thrown that shot. Barely short enough, and the wind was kind of in my favor, pushing right to left and a bit headwind. So just grab it and send it, and I'm so glad I didn't have to make a putt for a second. Just a little tap, and it was perfect.
You've got a lot going on, obviously fatherhood and still rehabbing an injury. What's next for you this season, and how does this propel you to the next one?
Yeah, a lot of cool projects are in the works right now. I'm actually next week I'm going up to Vermont shooting with Jomez. We're working on a new disc golf series, which I'm really looking forward to. That's going to be really cool. And then I have a week off, and then I'm flying over to the West Coast and playing OTB Open and Portland Open. And shortly after that, I think we're already going to Europe pretty soon. So it's going to be a busy schedule, and I miss my family at home.
How is this going to spark the next 6 weeks, 2 months?
I can't wait for a beer and just be happy because it's been a while. Right now it's just relief and happiness.
We're coming back here in a few months. What does the World Championships look like here in Emporia with these 2 courses and this town?
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to switch anything up. I'm not exactly sure what the plans are for that, but I mean, I've been to Emporia at least 6 or 7 times by now. I've won my first big tournament in the U.S. here, so this place has definitely very positive vibes for me. Other than that, I can just say, hopefully it's less windy.
All right, that's Simon Lazad, fresh off his 2nd place finish at the Dynamic Disc Open.
Peace. Thank you.
And so impressive for Simon Lazat, the way he battled throughout the entire weekend, hearing his strategy there. He has a different perspective on life. You heard him say he misses his family.
Yeah.
Of course, he has a newborn and lives on the East Coast. We're seeing him fly to events. He's not on tour. He's not the young kid just whipping around with your brother-in-law anymore in Avery Jenkins. Simon Lazat, a family man, but proving he has all the skills necessary and coming and performing very well at this Elite Series event.
Well, yeah, and he played really well last week, too. He just walked in. I'm looking at him over there. Oh, and here he comes.
We get a
Simon.
Nice job. I was just complimenting you.
Great job, buddy.
Right
yeah,
there.
Right there.
Look there and smile, buddy.
Thanks, guys, for all your hard work. You guys kill it.
Well, we
Great
appreciate
job.
you, buddy.
We love you, Simon.
Nice work.
Congratulations, buddy. Good luck at Worlds.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Man, what a cool moment to have Simon come in. And, yeah, just so happy for him, man. 2nd place finish. What a great final round. I mean, he played well throughout the tournament, but he did. He bogeyed the last 16 and 17, but he birdies 18 to shoot the hot round of the day, tied with Kyle Klein and Anthony Barella. Yeah, I mean, look, on a tournament like this, we're looking for storylines because Ricky was so dominant, but I think one of the really good ones was Logan, GT, Jake.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
at the end of the day, Ricky just so dominant.
He was. Let's take a look at what Ricky Wysocki was doing out there throughout the weekend. He's set a very special place here in Emporia, special to his heart, special to his career, and we're going to take a look back earlier. This is Wysocki on the tee of 3, and that was a park job. Very few people got there for the birdie. Ricky was one of them today.
At the top of the show, I mentioned for Ricky Wysocki, just needed to come out, do his job, keep the disc in bounds, and be smart, aggressive. And I think that's exactly what he did. It was here on hole 9 that he was just so precise, a giant tee shot and a great 2nd shot.
Here he is on hole number 15. Also going for what is a pretty big island, but finds it with no problem. And then here, his 2nd shot on 17. Maybe a little less pressure as he was trying to close it out today. He had a very comfortable lead, but nonetheless closes out with the birdie. And Ricky Wysocki will lift the trophy. And with that, Ricky Wysocki, your champion here in Emporia. Believe we're going to have the only the best shot of the day brought to us by OTB. And first we're going to take a quick look at the leaderboard one more time. Wysocki on top, Simon Lazat in 2nd. That huge cluster in the tie for 3rd, Vino, Aaron, Logan, and Jake, along with a solid finish by Brody Smith. You mentioned it, going 4 for 4 to get back into that tie for third. At one point, he was outside of the top 10, but then he battled back strong. A great performance by him to close out. Chris Dickerson, GT Hancock, and Calvin Heimberg all rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, and I think crucial here, Chris Dickerson, Calvin Heimberg getting points as they came up towards the end. Top 10 points are crucial when we're looking at those guys for the Tour Championship. I mean, Ricky Wysocki getting a ton of points as well. Simon going to start locking himself in for the Tour Championship with a couple of these big finishes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. Some of those guys not necessarily hitting up the Silver Series. They're thinking they're going to get it done at the regular Elite Series events, and that's exactly what we saw by Calvin and Chris today. Now I think we've got the OTB, only the best shot of the day. It's all queued up and ready to go. Let's take a look. And the man we heard from just a little while ago, Logan Harpol. Poise, confidence, composure.
He finishes his practice putting routine by thinking about 16, 17. And that was a big putt over there on hole number 12. This was huge. In fact, this is kind of what got him fired up a little bit. Maybe that's what set him up for 18, a very similar putt as it was downhill to an elevated basket, just like number 18. Oh, DB shot of the day, 2 of them.
Yeah.
The putt of the day, I guess.
Very impressive for sure. And also, I know we've been talking about it. This is our world's warm-up. It's going to be a little bit warmer as well, literally, when we come back in August. But a world's warm-up for us. We know that Emporia knows disc golf. We know that Dynamic Disc knows disc golf. The Pro Tour, the PDGA, everyone will come together for the PDGA Major. And we're excited to bring it to you. That's taking place August 30th through September 3rd. We're going to be right back here. We'll see if there's any changes to Jones Supreme or the Country Club. We know course designer Eric McCabe takes this all very seriously, along with the Dynamic Disc crew. You got to be excited about that, Nate.
Oh, definitely excited about it, but it'll be a completely different feel. The town will be just filled with the top women, the top men, and 2 champions will be crowned right down there on that final day. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait for it. You know, look, you got defending champion James Conrad, Macbeth going for 6, Wysocki going for 3, and all kinds of other things are going to happen. I can't wait for it. It's going to be great.
It certainly is. Thank you to everyone as you guys tuned in throughout this 4-round weekend. We appreciate the love and the support. The Disc Golf Pro Tour teaming up with the PDGA and Dynamic Disc for this action. Nate Doss, Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, Brian Earhart out on the field, and Valerie Jenkins, who was in here earlier. Thank you, everyone. We're taking off from Emporia. We'll see you at the next one.